I, I, I realized that he was playing Minecraft, and that's why I did it. Because I was, oh, he probably was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get playing with Legos and you forget it happens. Pardon.
It's possible, yes.
The time got really confusing for me because Arizona doesn't obey daylight savings time, and so
Obey.
I just I set an alarm for noon, and then I was like, wait, the time switched. It's either at noon or it's at 2 o'clock.
And the rest of us,
Different.
the rest of us were all on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know where we're. And the last time I heard.
He's further north than I am, I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah, Maine is a strong possibility. North and east. Where are the mind flayers?
Oh no.
Ah.
Oh no, that's really bad.
Huh? What's bad? Maine?
Mind
Yeah,
flayers.
Maine sucks.
Well, that
Oh, yeah.
and
They both really suck.
that's actually where mind flayers are from.
Yeah.
Maine?
Yeah, Maine, mind flayers, they both start with M.
I would
It
have
checks
guessed
out.
Connecticut, to be honest.
I
Or
mean,
Jersey.
I
mean,
would
it
say
was
Wyoming.
God.
That weird state that's kind of floating out in limbo.
Yeah, in the
Wisconsin.
far realms.
Yeah.
I've never been all the way up to Maine, but I was up in Vermont recently, and yeah, it's basically mind flayer territory.
Yeah, I would think that mind flayers are from Florida. Have you seen the weird shit that comes out of Florida?
Actually, yeah, I'm changing my vote. I don't know what's going on with Florida, but there's something going on with Florida.
I mean, that's fair, but I just figured that was where the barbarous tribes was.
True. They all use psychostimulants.
Yeah, honestly, I think mind flayers would run a tighter ship, and that's why people from Maine are basically from Canada.
Yeah, it would be a lot quieter, I would think. You know?
I just remember that whole deal with bath salts ages ago.
Yeah, the whole eating people.
Yeah,
That.
Zombie Plague.
I mean, hell,
That was due to a necromancer.
last time I was down there, we drove driving to a bowling alley, drove past a dead alligator in a ditch in front of a 7-Eleven. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
The most interesting thing that happened last time I was in Florida was I cried over bees. So, I guess my brother had surgery, but that's kind of an elective surgery, so it's not very big of a.
I don't know. It was a pretty intense surgery.
You're such a druid.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know, Lee.
She summoned bees. What was it? It wasn't last weekend. It was the weekend before. When we all had to take off to go to the Ren Fair. You just summoned bees.
Somebody questioned bees, and I said it's a run fair. There's bound to be bees.
And then
What?
bees showed up instantly.
There was no delay. It wasn't like 20 minutes later. It was like, oh, there's bees.
Yeah, they like materialized out of the air because she said that.
That seems fair. Yeah. That seems fair.
Hey!
Sure.
And now we have a full party.
Alright, guys, I gotta go.
Alright. So, I honestly don't remember who was here or whatnot, so we're just gonna start it at the top. You all had previously teleported in to. We'll start at this subquest. You all had teleported in to a kind of monastery, worshipping some dark god. The sort of avatar of which you had dispatched some time ago in the city of Bacata. You aren't even quite sure the name of this god, but you found a statue to it and a bunch of monks that presumably worshipped it who had either self-immolated or had been immolated, or there were corpses and fire and things. Anyway, you had come down from your high perch and into a valley through a small town and had asked for directions towards the closest entrance to the Underdark on your quest to get a bow from a drow warlord, a bow of legendary make. He pointed you in the direction of a dwarvish camp where they have been besieging the Undercity most recently, the city of Manabar. Anyway, through the task, he'll be back. Through the task of rather getting to the point of getting yourself this magical bow, you made a deal of opportunity with a local drow, or not, excuse me, not drow, but a dwarf warlord of a sort, a general nearby, and agreed to go with him on the condition that you would help him. You almost immediately broke away and then got lost inside of a catacomb, and then decided to climb down a really big hole in the ground for a while. And then you realized that you were being observed and captured your observer, nearly killing the poor, defenseless scholar. But the scholar took you to his home like stray cats in the deal that you would help him get his family away from this terrible situation where they were essentially stuck between a bunch of rock dwarves and a hard place. So you agreed to help him if he helped you, and but it's at this time that we found out that apparently gnomes have an adverse effect to a certain mixture of mushrooms that the drow had put, the drow wife, Ms., had put within this stew. And Molly Mort had a psychic vision of what the next couple of hours had in store if nothing else changed. That vision included you all going to the fortress, just immediately alerting them, and then being besieged by 12 archers, some archers from behind, and then attacking the wall, and then finding that they have 12 skirmishers, and then battling through those skirmishers, and then finding 12 more archers, where you all may have died. Anyway, but you're fine. You're in the sitting room of this lovely couple, and have enjoyed some hearty mushroom stew, and you are able to make your way deeper into the Underdark again in your quest to eventually reach whomever may have this bow. In fact, I believe you actually learned the name of the fellow that has it. But anyway, that's about where you are.
Nice. I'm gonna see if I can't get my headphones to work with it again. So if you don't hear from me, that's what I'm doing. But I'm listening.
All right. So Molly is the only one at this point that knows what a bad idea, unless if she just already told us. Like,
Oh, yeah, I will immediately explain this whole thing.
yeah, in full depth, you're the one that understands exactly what happened. Do you have any suggestions on what we do instead?
I think I mentioned in the group chat that I think it would be a good idea to, first of all, catch the person who stalks up behind us and kind of interrogate him. Them.
It. I think.
All right. Obviously we leave the scholar dude. I cannot remember his name for some reason, but Arban. Okay, we leave Arban, and obviously I should not wear heavy armor.
You also discussed leaving Philbin behind on the condition that if you all don't return in time, he can still teleport them out, fulfilling your side of the bargain.
Yeah, well, he stayed last time too, so he'll stay this time.
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know.
Right.
And you can,
Yeah,
of
we
course,
all.
choose to change that. The world is your oyster.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just going to be the 5 of us, right? Well, 6 of us, and I point to the goat. Unless if you think we should leave the goat.
The goat attempts to tiptoe and knocks over a chair.
I think you'll be fine. The goat's good, right? He can sneak. I mean, nobody noticed that.
If anything else, if nothing else, it's another body. I know how
Yeah,
that
to take
sounds.
arrows.
I
God.
know how that sounds, but if nothing else, it's another body.
The goat thinks that you're saying nice things, but the goat only understands Dwarvish. So the goat's perfectly fine with what you're saying and is nodding along.
Yeah.
I got cigarettes.
The goat probably has higher wisdom than Lee.
I mean, it probably has a higher wisdom than me too. Like,
That's true. Let's see. Like a 10 or something, I bet.
yeah, then I'm as wise as a goat.
Yeah, the goat is very wise.
Um,
Okay, so what's the plan, guys? We obviously leave Arbon, and I'm not going to wear heavy armor because the distraction thing definitely did not work. Because I guess to be fair, I underestimated their defenses.
Well, I can also do pass without a trace to be sneaky.
Yeah,
I
that
think
way
you
we can do a
should.
full stealth. Well, here are the options here. We either do a full stealth, or we try for diplomacy and getting in. Because if we try one of the other ones, we can't use the other as a backup. Because if they catch us trying to be stealthy, diplomacy won't work.
I think you should bring the heavy armor.
Molly.
We tried diplomacy, and that didn't work very well.
Molly, what happened
really
last
try
time when I wore the heavy armor?
Well, we tried to stop them from attacking us, but
To
they just
be
wouldn't let us.
fair, the diplomacy that we tried ended up with a lot of bloodshed, so I don't really know that we would call it diplomacy.
To be fair, the first time we tried
attacked first.
diplomacy was right after we attacked them.
Yeah. So,
They attacked first, all right.
We were
That
defending
is
ourselves
true.
while trying to break into their place.
yeah, I mean, like, if you caught someone
Great
climbing
axe.
through your window in the middle of the night, and then
Is that what
pointed
you
a
named it?
sword at their face, and then they said, "Hey, hold on, I just want to talk." Yeah.
Well, after killing several of you, yes.
Yeah.
After killing like half of your family, and then be like, "Hey, whoa, we just wanted to talk." Yeah, I'm thinking we have to completely commit to one or the other. There aren't really going to be any backup plans this time.
Yeah.
Because it seems like trying to use diplomacy as a backup is just not going to work. We either have to go full in, or we, maybe talk to the what's his name, the one that's going to intercept us, or we stealth in entirely and try to avoid them or intercept them.
Yeah, because from what Molly tells us, fighting is not an option. You don't have the manpower to overcome that.
Yeah.
Well, we could try both, honestly. Have a team of recon and stealth.
I will add, you can sort of recall Mollymort too. Assuming everything else stays the same, they're probably still going to have roughly the same thing. There was a scouting party that had somehow followed you, and there were 12 archers, and then 12 skirmishers, and then 12 archers, and on the third pass, the warlord himself came out. And that's pretty much what you recall. You remember it was 12 drow archers, then 12 seemingly Duergar or kind of dark dwarf skirmishers, and then 12 more drow archers. It might just keep going, but
I
that's
honestly didn't remember the Duergar. I just remember the
end
archers,
clear
and then they came up the stairs. And
yeah.
So guys, do you want to? We can definitely deal with the person trailing us now that we know about them. But do you guys want to go for the route where we try to intercept them and convince them to take us with them, or take them into the stronghold, or do you want to try to take care of them early on, and then like make our way there and try to stealth them?
I think kill them and then stealth in.
I'm not so sure about that. We have a good card in our hand here. I think we should at least talk to him, whether that means, whether that means persuading him to take us in, or interrogating him and getting some knowledge.
Well, we can do a little bit of both. If we have somebody who wants to go diplomacy, we can let the scouting party intercept them and then try and talk to them and be like, hey, we just want to talk, while we have another team stealthing in,
I mean,
just in case one goes wrong.
We could do
Yeah.
that, yeah.
yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Is we intercept the scouting party and be like, hey, take us down. If we have to, we use the other legendary weapons that we have as leverage. Be like, hey, we have these, and we wish to speak to the warlord. He has another one of the set. We'd like to talk to him about it. And that's.
I don't know if I want to tell them that we have these, because they'll kill us and take them.
Yeah, no.
Well, if we're splitting up, it can only be we have one. Because splitting up that way would be efficient.
Well, I don't want to tell them that we have them, and honestly, I kind of am voting against splitting up. And my reason for that is that it's never really a great idea to split the party, and also it doesn't really help us that much because it just increases the chances that we're going to fail by 2. In how I'm seeing it, because if either party gets discovered, there's a high chance that the other party will get discovered or killed.
Yeah, I vote the full diplomacy route where we intercept the scouting party that was behind us in Wally's vision and have them take us down.
And I will say that we don't necessarily have to decide here. We should just kind of have an idea of the course of action we want to take, and then after interacting with the guy that's going to tail us, maybe we'll get a better idea of which route we should commit to fully.
Yes, that. I think that we should kind of gauge it based off of the information they give.
Right, but we want to go into it with an idea. So let's try diplomacy first with this guy. If that doesn't work out, we can go stealth.
Also,
how does that sound?
Oh, go ahead.
Does that sound okay?
I mean, that sounds good to me.
Sure.
Also, so Molly, did you see
What?
their leader in great detail, or?
I mean, if anybody's got other ideas, I am all ears. I would love to try whatever somebody thinks will work.
Well, I'm just asking this as a backup plan, because if she saw him in great detail, or at least detail enough to where she can describe him to me, and I can use this guy's self, if we absolutely have to, because I want to have every contingency that we can.
Not necessarily even him, because if you can be a drow, hell, you could disguise yourself as the drow that we interrogate and return on your own if you have to. That way, there's no chance of them being like, "Oh, you're already here,"
True.
But I think it's going to be Plan C.
I would like to say that I got way too up and personal with this guy when he kind of killed me. This drug-induced state. So I think I can show you what he looks like.
I can't hear anything or anyone.
Yeah, there's some sort of
There's some feedback.
droning.
Yeah, it sounds like something super dramatic just happened on your side.
I have no idea. I don't know where the beeping came from.
There was beeping?
I just heard some sort of feedback type buzzing.
It sounded like a facsimile of heavy machinery to me.
Well, Molly, what were you saying?
Just that I got way too good.
There it is again.
Hallucinating this.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're saying. Unfortunately, you sound like heavy machinery.
If you're using a microphone, it kind of sounds like the connection is kind of messing up a little bit. Or
Yeah.
loose in terms, I guess.
Can we
Hello?
can we at least agree that the best course of action to take, or the direction to go to start off with, is we intercept these guys that are going to try to follow us and try diplomacy with them. And if that doesn't work, we can go stealth. And if for whatever reason that doesn't work, our plan C will be using, Fiona's disguise self, maybe some combination of something else, and full stealthing in.
Sure.
Yeah. And like that's unfortunately I feel like that's the best thing we can do is just kind of hope for the best.
I mean, like, we can alter our plan as we get more information, but let's just go ahead and plan on doing diplomacy, and then we'll have our plan B and C.
Can you hear me any better now?
I can hear you.
I think so.
Yeah, it's not doing the machine thing.
I do not know why it was doing that.
So are we still going to take I don't know why I'm talking in character voice for this. Are we still going to take a short rest up here before we get down?
I think that was the consensus. You guys want to take that short rest?
Well,
yeah.
what's the reason for doing that, really?
So you have your extra wild shape?
Oh, I think I'll be alright without it.
Does anybody else need it? I haven't used any spell slots.
Neither have I.
I don't think so.
I've used one, but I can make do with just one. I only have two to begin with.
We don't have to, but we definitely can if you guys want to. It's just an hour.
Yeah.
Hell, we've probably been sitting down and eating for half an hour now. All we'd have to do is wait another half hour.
Well, the reason I ask is because I want to do something very specifically that I don't think we've ever that I don't know that we've ever done, and that's I want to have Theon use Detect Magic on Lee's chest gash.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Wait, like right now?
It doesn't have to be right now, but I just want to keep that in mind because I don't know that we've ever actually done it.
Alright, do you want to go ahead and take that short rest then, so that, you have your extra spell slot?
I mean, it would be great, but if the rest of the party doesn't need it, I'll be fine because I don't use spells all that often anyways.
I mean, it's like half an hour. I feel like we can do it. Especially after the disastrous vision that Molly had, we might as well get every advantage that we can.
This is true.
That way you'll have a wild shape to sneak in and a wild shape to get out. You need it.
Yeah, I don't usually rely that heavily on wild shape, but being a giant spider seemed to help a lot.
I think maybe this would be a good opportunity to rely on wild shape a little more.
Yeah.
This way you won't feel as pressured to stay in wild shape, and you'll be okay going out of it because you'll have another one that you can use if you need to get away.
Alrighty.
So I guess we wait an extra half hour and probably talk about how we're definitely not going to take Arban because he is not a porcupine shifter.
He is quite happy about that. Maze offers you seconds on the mushroom stew if you want it.
Theon takes up on it.
Lee refuses after the vision that Molly had.
Yeah, same.
Do, another bowl of it there.
I will continue to eat.
She's happy to freshen up the plate. Are you still a giant spider?
No, I had to, lose that talk.
But she will, instead of bringing you a plate that she thought would be the easiest to eat off of as a spider, she will bring you a bowl with a spoon.
Thank you.
So, you guys just wait and take a short rest.
Yes. If I don't, how long does it take to take off the chest piece? Because while we're doing this,
It takes half an hour. That's perfect.
To doff his armor? Yeah, probably.
So
And you're
yeah,
losing
that
armor anyway. So
that just take. Okay, so yeah, the short rest is necessary because like You guys get your spell slots back, and I can get my armor changed.
I mean, come on. If you call that rest,
Oh, I'm not getting the rest.
it's fine. You can call it a rest. It takes a little bit to doff the armor.
Well, I'm not getting the rest because I'm doffing the armor.
Yeah, if Fion's basically just waiting for him to get it off, with it sitting with his legs crossed, eating his seconds.
But no, for heavy armor, it only takes 5 minutes to take it off.
Okay.
So you're fine. You can get the benefits of the rest.
Oh, really? Well, I don't need him. I actually didn't take any damage or use any spells, so.
Fine, don't take a rest. Jeez.
No, I'm just saying that's the only reason I didn't feel like I needed to take it because most of us hadn't used anything.
Okay.
Since we're sitting around, I'm gonna do some commune with nature as a ritual.
All right.
Which, in caves, it doesn't go as far. It's only 300 feet.
Mm-hmm.
But I can still, check terrain and bodies of water, prevalent, powerful faith fiends, and undead. That stuff. Influences from another plane.
You do. You get a couple of different feelings on this one. One, you determine that there's actually not a lot of water around here. You think that you can get the sort of feels that springs have been directed, but there are no lakes or anything. Not for the most part. They're just tricklings of water. Another thing that you find that terrain-wise, a lot of it seems to be really worked. And you can recall the beginning of the journey. It's a little fuzzy, but you recall essentially going to a point similar to where the cave-in had occurred, or rather, the cave-in that you all climbed down into, similar to that, but a section that had been worked a little bit more to give stairs and make it a little bit easier to get down. And that from there, you get into the real Underdark, where up here, this is just essentially a dwarven-esque construction with elvish additions on it. It's a relatively common construction in the world. The full Underdark is really the deeper section fully on. Also, additionally, with your added senses and communing with nature, you do get a waft of undead, as you have almost every time you've used this recently. You do get a sense of a fiend, and you do get a kind of lingering of not a corruption, but as you said, an influence from another plane. It's almost like someone's looking over your shoulder. It's kind of a creepy eyes on you kind of feel.
Yeah, that definitely gives me chills.
Yeah, it's not
Sorry, I didn't mute myself.
That's fine. So, does everyone enjoy their short rest? You all seem to be taking off the armor for a reason. You wanted to look at his wound.
Yes, I will ritual cast detect magic. Look at
Oh.
I will also tell him that I sensed undead when I did that. So that's kind of worrisome.
Do I smell like cheese, guys?
A little bit. So, yeah, basically you can detect the fiend coming in the direction of Ormus and his bird, and you can detect the undead coming in the direction of Lee. I'll add that. And then the influence from another plane is just sort of this. Again, it's always behind you, no matter which way you turn. Kind of creepy feel. Something far off. Just observing.
Damn Demogorgons.
So, now as you detect magic on the wound, I'm not sure what it would find, because the wound itself is not magical. But this is one of those tricky things. It's one of the gray areas of what constitutes magic. You know, is it the effects of magic, or is it the magic itself? Does plant growth make all of the plants magical, or this is a serious question. If when Mollymort casts plant growth or something akin on a field, and the field grows normal food, just lots of it quickly, is that food then magical if you were to cast detect magic on it a week later?
You would probably find traces of it for at least a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine after it stops growing, it stops being magical.
Well, if it helps, the spell does specifically say the presence of magic, so it's not like it doesn't necessarily have to be the item is magical. At least that's how I would interpret that. Like it would. I would think that traces of magic and stuff. Like if you used a step sight vision in a James Bond game or something.
If there was something relating to undead, there would most likely be necrotic energies flowing just in some place. Some shape or form.
Yeah, I mean, it's undead stuff. That's kind of, magical by nature, isn't it?
Yeah, almost anything relating to undead. I mean, sometimes even not undead, just like have necrotic magic in it. Like there's a supplement that I remember reading a while back that just had a ravine that was full of necrotic magic, and it could be used as basically a refrigerator because it would keep things from spoiling because of the necrotic magic.
Creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say that when you cast detect magic and you're looking at the wound, for whatever reason, his armor had just hit it. But yes, you can see his wound is magical, and you can see the. Well, I'm assuming, like, while Lee can detect things frequently by sort of smell and taste, you're more visual, I would guess. You would be able to see the magic.
Yeah, like the way I've always thought about it is since it says you can tell what the different schools are, I always imagined that the different schools were different colors of aura.
That's kind of how I always imagined it as well. But you can see the sickly aura of necromancy on the wound.
Now, do you tell Lee that you're doing this, or do you just catch him while he's changing armor?
And just stare at him a lot, because that's not creepy.
I would tell him that I was gonna. Yeah.
And I might have kept to myself about the fiendish thing when I was, doing my whole thing. But I would have told you about the undead and the presence from another plane kind of watching over us, being all weird.
It's probably God damn it. Can't remember his name now.
Mephistopheles?
No. Fucking guy from the Nightmare Society. Shit.
Errata?
Errata, yeah, there we go.
Erotica?
Someone from another plane watching over us.
On Errata. Come on.
Now, I do have a question. Since Molly said she described it. By the way, I don't think I'll tell Lee that it's necrotic, but I'll say that there's definitely some magic voodoo going on with it, and also wasn't Aladrin under the thrall of the ex-mayor when he inflicted this wound, or am I mistaken?
No, that's right.
He was.
And I'm gonna ask Aladrin. Aladrin, does your weapon have any enchantments or anything on it? Specifically the one that you hit Lee with?
Not at the time. Yeah, it's magical now. Maybe somehow that did it.
Yeah, like the spell does last for 10 minutes. I think I would not say anything and just let it run out and kind of take a sly look around while it's up.
Well, he did have it's a magical weapon now.
Yeah.
He gave it to Errata and Errata enchanted.
Yeah.
Hey, Ormond.
Yes.
You got your birdie?
Yes.
Is it on your shoulder?
Oh, of course.
Okay. I will add, Fionn, as you kind of really look around, you can see that the aura of Ormus's bird is not in the shape of a bird.
Nice.
I tell what shape it is, or is it just kind of a vague shape, but clearly not that of a bird?
If you like, I will send you roughly what the aura looks like.
Would I be able to
That
get
would
it
be
too, or
Huh?
is it? Would that just be for him?
Well, you know what it is.
Okay, okay.
And he might know, he might not, but I mean, it's fair enough that he gets to
Oh yeah.
see it, and then he can decide what he wants to do with that information.
Um,
So the aura looks a little bit like it would be made by that creature.
yes. Okay. That was out of character. The yes was out of character, by the way. I figured that was obvious.
Yeah.
The the other question I had is, since Molly told us about the over your shoulder watching presence, she didn't she?
Yes.
Okay. Would I know that as the presence of Gilgame, or because I just want to double check and make sure it's not him, you know? Because if it is him, that's.
You don't really. Do you have a way of detecting when your patron is, especially focused on you? I mean, you can maybe try to commune with him or something, but there's nothing there's no obvious sign.
Okay.
I mean, he's spoken with you before directly, and it's never been, you've never felt that kind of creepiness. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
Okay.
You could think that, but there's nothing objectively saying that.
Yeah.
You might subjectively choose to think that, of course.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that because, if that was a thing, because it doesn't say in my class that I have any special thing to recognize that he's there or anything. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Lee for sure says it is clearly the gods of Bakata watching over our journey.
Could be.
So he just says that. That's what he thinks. I don't think that, but Lee definitely thinks that.
Yeah, out of character, I feel like it is, or it is Arata, or it's someone who has something to do with Arata because of how Molly was just given a vision of the future, so there's some slight level of time magic going on. So I feel like there's a good chance it could have something to do with that.
Maybe, but honestly, I'm thinking it's just because we're in the Underdark, and the Underdark is connected to a bunch of different planes.
Yeah, true.
I'm 99% sure that it's literally nothing for us to worry about.
Yeah.
The woman who gave us this mushroom soup, did she say that sometimes happens?
She says that she's heard of many people eating many types of mushrooms and having many types of visions and reactions. Just
There
have
you
fun
go.
with it, honey. You'll enjoy it. But yeah, many people, they eat mushrooms and see things. It's okay. She says that while eating another one.
Yeah.
I shrug and continue eating.
You just got to take the little things when you're a parent,
Out of curiosity, since the detect magic is up, is there anything around the mushrooms, or is it purely a psychotropic effect?
The mushrooms themselves are seemingly not inherently magical, but the effects of herbalism can go a long way,
Yeah.
and it could also be because she was in her spider form too. There might be something to do with the druid magic that involves changing your shape in combination with this ancient herbalism that created this strange reaction. Almost impossible to tell.
I would definitely believe that druids could see the future just by getting high as fuck.
By the way, while I was explaining the whole past vision thing, future vision, Would anyone have mentioned to me the relevance of a giant spider to a drow?
Well,
If you brought it up,
if you were asking, I mean, because that's the thing is, these people are basically giving you space. They're not crowding anything.
I was not asking, but I did mention that I was a giant spider.
and their reaction
You
to it,
were literally a giant spider when they met you. But
This is true.
they've not said anything about it. You could ask them, but
Yeah.
they're being respectful. They're talking quietly amongst themselves off to the side while you all take your rest.
I mean, Fiona would probably know, right?
Yeah, like I've been open with the party about the fact that my mentor was a drow, but I just so you know that, like, I don't know how much I'd know about it, but I imagine that Eldwin would have mentioned something about it.
I mean, I imagine.
They're being respectful and they're not. They're staying to the point of only the interactions that are needed to get their family out. Again, you can ask them, but they haven't volunteered anything.
Yeah, I feel like Fiona would be the same way. Like he doesn't, unless you straight up ask him. I don't think he would think to volunteer any information on that, on what he would know. And I don't know how much he would know, but
I mean,
Yeah,
like, with that huge of an advantage, I mean, that seems noteworthy. Like, instead of attacking her, it cowered before her.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. They still definitely killed me.
That's true, but it gave you like 2 turns. Basically free.
Well, I gotta be honest, I don't think Molly would think to ask about it, so. Oh well.
I don't know, it seemed pretty obvious, but I won't argue with you.
She's used to people giving her weird reactions to her being very different animals.
Exactly. If you run up to anyone while a giant spider, they're probably going to freak out.
That's true.
Heck, even Lee's goat did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this would work. But like, I feel like this is going too meta. So, stop me if it feels too meta. But I think Fiona wants to make an insight check against Molly, because if she was the only one that had the vision and Fiona's paranoid, just to see if it feels like she's not telling us something, or
Because she just got shrooms. She could just be hallucinating this too.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea. Yeah, you can insight check that.
By the way, I absolutely would have created the drow leader guy's face with minor illusion and his voice in case you impersonate him.
So I got a 28.
You said, Molly Mort, that you would create the picture of the guy's face.
The warlord leader, the guy who killed me, yes.
Yeah. So the 28, especially combined with Molly Mort creating an image of someone, and then Ms., as soon as she sees it, goes, "That's real," and saying, "Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy with the bow." That pretty much confirms that she saw at least something, and she seems to be completely truthful.
High insight, also people flat out saying, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that is real.
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a handsome fella. In fact, you can see like she's kind of smiling and tilting her head a little bit at the image, and Arbon's just like looking at her, like, really. Anyway, he seems like they would be bickering if it weren't for the company.
Well, I believe that's all I wanted to cover during the short rest. Does anybody else want to cover anything before we actually head out?
That's all I can think of. Should I cast Pass Without a Trace?
It's like an 8-hour walk,
Ah, never mind then.
and you don't know where you started to get followed.
extra sure to watch over our backs.
So, am I bringing the goat, or are we leaving it here?
I mean, I'd say bring him if we're gonna go the pure diplomacy route with stealth backup.
Okay. Let's bring him then.
Are you putting your armor in satchels apparently, or something with the goat, or are you leaving it here? Or...
I'm gonna do what I did last time and basically leave all the equipment that I'm not gonna need in their house so that they can take it with them if they have to leave without us. Remember they asked for like money last time, so like we basically just left a bunch of our equipment that we didn't need directly for the battle so that they'd be able to take it and like sell it or something.
Uh-huh.
So I'll be leaving my plate mail.
All right.
I will leave some fake jewelry.
It's appreciated. They'll probably give it to the kids or something.
Is it candy?
Probably like a plastic tiara and some, fake necklaces. Maybe a couple rings. Actually, I think I got a lot of rings, so yeah, a couple rings.
Okay. I'm behind this.
All right.
Yeah, I'm wearing a breastplate instead of plate mail, so at the very least I don't have disadvantage.
Good thing.
Would actually not. Never mind. Yeah, Fiona will leave behind the just any random, specifically the fox fur masquerade mask and bracers. I think it was, because I imagine they'd sell for a pretty penny if something did happen to us.
You're just clearing out the junk folder, aren't you?
Basically, yeah. Anything that I don't immediately need, I'm going to be leaving.
A fox fur mask. Yeah, here you go. Here's this, and I don't know what this is. Here you go.
They have a lot of armor and weapons from me.
Yeah.
If it weren't the Underdark, if Fiona was stealthing, he'd be wearing that mask, but he has to wear the goggles at night, so.
Fair.
At least until I hit level 13, I think it is. 13 or 14? I can't remember. I get dark sight.
Soon enough.
If you're wondering if I'm carrying anything that's going to be clanking in the goats, will that clank too much?
Not necessarily. They're heavy enough that as long as they're not being swayed too heavily, it's not a clanking sound. It's just sort of a low grinding at most.
All right, I'll bring those, my extra hammers, light hammers, and my war hammer. I'm not going to bring them all because I don't use it. So.
All right.
All right, sweet.
Okay. So, it's basically just you 5 plus the goat making your way out.
Hi.
You 5 plus the goat?
Nice.
Okay. And you're going off of Molly Mort's memory of her vision?
Well, remember at the end of last session, we drew a map with the help of Arbon.
I don't know if you drew fully a map of how to get there.
Okay.
But he can try to give you directions the best he can. He's happy to give you directions.
Well, I know last session we talked about basically basing it off of the fact that Molly has keen mind, which like gives her an eidetic memory, something along those lines, and the combination of asking Arbon for reference.
Sure.
I would like to try to draw a map.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we did that at the last of the end of last session.
I know we at least talked about it.
Yeah, we talked about it. Maybe we didn't do it.
This session was really falling apart with people coming in and going out, so I lost, and it was a couple of weeks ago, so I lost track. I don't know, but that's fine.
Honestly, I don't remember if we made it or not. Maybe we could like make a roll and like figure out if we can make a map now.
Well, if Mollymort's got a keen mind, she should be able to remember it.
All right, and with what's his name? Crap, I keep forgetting Arbon's help.
Arbon, yeah.
Yeah, with Arbon's help, I bet we could probably do it.
And he says he'll even lead you through the city section into the crevice that goes into the Underdark. I mean, he could do that, no problem. That's just, no big deal.
Yeah, just don't go too far with us.
Yeah, but I don't feel good about him going back home by himself either, though. So maybe
That's true.
maybe Philbin could come with us with that point so that he could escort him back.
Philbin says that's acceptable.
Okay.
Feels good to me.
Hey, I feel like we really got a plan coming together. It only took us an hour to do basically nothing.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in the last session, we did get, I guess, I don't know what the word would be for. Yeah, murked. We did get straight murked. So I feel like at least an hour of plan making is kind of necessary.
Yeah, it didn't go great. I'll say that much.
Okay. I'm ready to go whenever you guys are.
All right.
Let's hop then.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. So Arban leads you back out again into the dark hallways. I will add. Huh?
Lee Cox's hammer for some reason.
That's fine. You all have been underground for quite a while. It does kind of weigh on you. Y'all haven't spent a lot of time under here. I mean, Philbin seems fine, but for many of you that have spent your entire lives with the sky over your head for the most part, it is different. These cramped, dark areas. It's a different feel, and I mean, it just
Probably hard to see.
Well, after Mollymort said that she could sense someone watching, almost it's almost like a how to describe it. Everyone, go ahead and make a charisma saving throw, please.
Do I get my against being charmed thing?
You're not being charmed.
Okay. Well, what about Molly's thing that gives her advantage on magic?
23.
Not one.
Oh shit.
Well, wait. Does the gnomish thing apply?
That's only with magic.
Okay.
Do we
Not
get Lee's +3?
Well, if it applies to charisma saving throws, then yeah.
It sure does. It's a morale boost.
Okay, then yes, it does apply.
26 then.
Good.
Because I have a +8, and this is where I shine.
My aura of morale boost.
I got a 17.
Good.
Molly got a 4.
Total?
I think so. What's your charisma bonus?
Is it with your +3?
Molly.
+1 to charisma.
Oh, so you got a 5. Nice.
But it wasn't that one, so.
That's fine. Aladrin, are you with us?
Yes, I got a 25 with a natural 20.
Okay. Mollymort, especially because you felt the creepiness, like something's watching you, and the everything overhead. It's almost like when you start walking, because where before it was an appointed room with furniture and rugs, and they had even put up sconces, and you couldn't tell that it was a cave. It was just a dark house. But here, being out in it again, it's almost oppressive. You can it's almost hard to breathe with the almost a sort of claustrophobia kind of feeling. As small as you are, this, for whatever reason, even feels smaller to you. And you get that creepy feeling like something's right behind you. And it's the sort of creepy feeling where it almost makes your hands shake, because it's like there's something behind me, but there's nothing behind me. Almost like an irrational paranoia. But anyway, you've got that on you. Has no effect, but it's just there.
Oh God, you became Fiona. You got Fiona disease.
Irrationality. Oh no.
See, that's the thing, is Fiona would be immune to it anyway.
Well, it's not that I wouldn't be immune, it's that I wouldn't notice the difference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, there is no difference between Fiona and paranoid Fiona. It's just Fiona. It's like a BDSM Hisoka.
You mean Hisoka?
I might be smiling and walking along and take whoever's hand I'm closest to and just turn right around and like, maybe we should go back.
If I don't know if I would notice this, but if I notice that something's wrong, could I make a check or like a skill check to see if I could help alleviate, some of her, worry?
I am not at all good at hiding this. I am going to turn right around and try to return to where I felt more comfortable.
Plus with
Would
a
I be-
1, yeah. It's
Could
pretty
I-
obvious.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Would I be? I'd like to try something like that. Just seems very paladin-y to me. Maybe like lay a hand on her shoulder, and try to be like, "It's okay. You've got all of us. We're here to back you up, and you'll be safe." And like make a persuasion check to try to give her another roll.
Sure.
Okay. Can I just make a persuasion check then?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. That's a +3. This might be really bad. Oh, I got a 19.
wow.
Yeah, that was good. I'm glad Lee was doing this, because if Fionn did it, it probably would have been something along the lines of embrace that feeling. That's how you know you're safe, if you're always looking over your shoulder.
That's how you know you're alive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Molly Mort, due to the comforts of Lee, you can make it that check with advantage if you'd like.
Okay, that's 19, not including Lee's thing.
So, with the comforting hand of your paladin friend, you can almost feel the worry just drain away, and that feeling of being watched completely disappears, and you feel much better.
I'm sorry for ruining your thing, but I legitimately thought it would be a good paladin thing to do, and I appreciate you letting me do that.
What thing?
I mean, it's all very in character.
Yeah,
Also,
I mean, the whole like paranoia thing. I appreciate you letting me like do that skill check thing.
Molly Moore is known to run, so it is perfectly appropriate that you would want to walk away.
Especially
Okay.
after that vision, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And as for spoiling my fun, Lee, you just walked out the door. Don't worry. I've got a lot more fun for me.
Molly will be squeezing her symbol of Sheila while Lee does this, and as they continue along.
It feels earthy in a good way.
I'll keep everybody grouped close enough to me that they can benefit from the protection, because there's obviously like some oppressive nature to being in here. Lee doesn't think it's magical, and I guess it's not magical, but like, just keeping together, I think, would keep morale higher anyway. So
Yeah, this was just good old-fashioned paranoia. Just nothing magical, just the fears that can come along in the darkness.
honestly, I almost want to say that Lee's too dumb to like almost succumb to this like 90% of the time.
Well, we'll see.
I feel like he's just too oblivious. He'd be like, "Oh, it's kind of dark in here," not think anything of it.
So, eventually, Arvan, wait, did I forget his name? Arban, yeah. Arban can lead you the winding path to be able to eventually get to an area that has been dug in to one of these cave ends that can function as a kind of stairwell. And it's not too far. Well, I guess it's kind of a perspective, but from a relatively long path, but shorter than the one that you took to get to it. you're able to begin to climb down into not necessarily the same cave, but at least a similar style cave network to not only the more shallow one that you had entered in before when you were still with the dwarves, but the one that you willfully, for some reason, decided to climb down into on your own. But this one is certainly a little bit less in terms of scale. The massive cave that you had come in the first time with these giant stalactites and stalagmites that were going off as far as the eye can see. This seems to be below that, judging from how far you go down this sort of mined out stairwell. But you are able to make your way far down in. And when you get to the bottom, Arvan nods and motions and says, there's the way to get to the true Kashikog.
Nice.
I feel like Theon stops everyone and he makes a really, like, what's the word I'm looking for? He just makes a good scan of everything, getting as much as he can take, his eyes can take in.
With the added benefits of your goggles of night, you're able to take in a whole lot of basically nothing.
Yeah.
This seems to be relatively empty. You had heard stories from your master long ago that the Underdark, that it teemed with life like a forest, that creatures you couldn't imagine had survived so deep in the world. It's a bit strange to see it empty here, but you think it has something to do with you're just not there yet. You're just in the sort of shallowness, like I said, where you're leaving an area that may as well be identical to several dwarven fortresses in the world. It's a deep cave. It's cool. It's a catacomb. It's what dwarves do. But there wasn't really anything special. These caves are different for sure, but the Underdark itself, can go for miles, even tens of miles deep, that you all are just scratching the surface. And currently, here at least, it's likely to be a lot of nothing. But eventually, if you keep looking, you can find life almost everywhere. Life finds a way. Sorry, I had to do it.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, that was really great. That was a lot more than I was expecting for basically. I'm looking for ambush points.
Yeah, you're in the shallow section of the Underdark. This is, right now, you're just in a deep cave. The Underdark is not a cave. It is a whole thing unto itself. You're in the path to the Underdark. This is just the dark.
I dig that. I'm kind of excited. Can we see without torches, though, since we only have, regular dark vision?
Yeah. You can see out to about 60 feet. It allows you to see the path around you and allows you to see some of the stones as you go. And you can see that there are the occasional carvings. Graffiti in various languages.
I am curious, are there any sources of light at all that are kind of allowing us to see in this area?
No. You are relying entirely on your racial advantage. There is virtually nothing here.
Huh.
There's virtually zero. You imagine that the smallest pinpoint of bioluminescence would glow like a torch. You could see a single star as bright as you could see a campfire. It's so dark that any light would shine, and there is no light.
All right.
And if it comes to any help, I can see about 60 feet further than you guys, so.
You can, yeah.
Well, how far can Theon see? Only 60 feet still?
Yeah, just 60 feet.
All right.
And it's 60 feet as if it's bright light, right? Or is it as if it's dim light?
Dim.
Yeah,
30 feet.
Past
I think it's
September,
we.
April,
Yeah,
June, then September, something like that.
it's weird.
Uh
It's like you can see in dim light as if it were bright light, and darkness as if it were dim light or something like that.
Yep, that's how it is.
Okay. I just thought I'd bring this up. One of my favorite interpretations of the Underdark that I've seen in like media, like actually seen like, like sketch, drawings of or whatever, is in this comic or manga or whatever called. Actually, I don't know how to translate it from Japanese, but it basically comes out to be like, "Is it wrong to be a spider?" And it just takes place in the Underdark. It's really cool. I thought I'd send a screen a picture of one of the pictures from it.
Cool.
I just thought it was neat and kind of fit in with what we were talking about.
Okay, so I just double checked it just to make certain. Yeah, the goggles of night just work. It basically just gives me regular dark vision.
Okay, I figured as much. But yeah, you all can see some details of things. But like I said before to Aladrin and Mollymort when they had come fully down, that looking up, it is one of those different experiences where above ground, when you look up, even on the darkest of night, you can usually still see stars, or if not stars, you can usually see sometimes the clouds, but or some whiff of clouds. There's usually something. But here, the dark vision runs out in some places before you see the ceiling. And so there are some cases where you look up, just nothing. It's just completely void of anything. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But it's not so bad. But since you have reached this point where he says the path will continue, he says that he would like to go back. And Philbin asks if you're sure that you want him to stay with the family.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I don't think this is good. I don't think if this was a fight with you there, we would really survive then either. So
Yeah,
I
agreed.
don't want you to die.
I think we.
He kind of tears up a little bit, and he starts going one by one, like, all right, let's get some hugs in. Get some hugs.
Oh, I hug Philbin so good. Can I roll for hug?
Oh yeah, roll the hug. I'm gonna tell you right now, Philbin, he's used to hugging a dragon. He's a hugger. He's a hugger.
What modifier do I use for that? And do I have proficiency?
You can take Constitution to resist the power of his hug, or Strength to try and challenge his hug.
Okay, I'm gonna use Constitution to just survive his hug because I'm worried about it.
Ooh, yeah, he rolled a 16 to hug. Not a bad hug.
That's okay. He's pretty tough. Yeah, I got a 20.
How
nice.
How tall is Philbin?
Philbin's like a typical dwarf. He's actually a little bit shorter on that side. So in terms of height, in the 5-foot range, I think.
He just like picks me up off the ground.
He doesn't go for that, but he's getting his hugs in. Well, okay, dwarf. Philbin's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 4'8", 4'10", but he's getting some hugs in.
Oh, he's the same height as Vicky.
He's after all this talk of what would be happening down there, you can see on his face pretty easily that he's worried about it. But he'll do what you say, and he'll let you go.
I just didn't want to be condescending if I squat down.
You wouldn't even have to. He would just hug whatever's there. He's just handing out hugs.
He just flies up on the lobster and hugs you.
Actually, if you recall, he put the lobster outside.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Maybe he levitates? I don't know.
No.
Dang.
He just hugs. Anyway. But after he dispenses his hugs, they return and leave you all on this path where behind you is a long stairway up into a mysterious catacomb of vaults, and before you is possibly the deepest cave you can imagine.
Crap! I just
Likely
remembered
much more
something.
deep than you can imagine.
What time period are we working with again? How long were they going to wait on us before teleporting out? I don't remember anymore.
So the walk itself is going to take several hours to get there, and I mean you can revise the timetable and set it right now. What it was set for is not a big deal. You can set it right now.
If we don't come back in a full day, maybe they leave. Does that sound okay to you guys?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay.
They nod and say that's acceptable. And Philbin says we'll start timing when we get back. Not now, but when we get back.
Yeah. All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just before we actually set up, once we get to the deeper parts, Molly, just because you're, as observational as I am, and Oramus, because you have Havram who can scout ahead and behind for us. Like, we specifically need to be on our toes, but everybody needs to be on our toes to notice these scouters. Like, yeah, we just gotta be real careful to try and find them.
Heck yeah.
All right. So, are y'all taking any special steps to try and determine if or when you're being followed, or like what do you want to do?
I mean, Fiona, you probably have something that, especially now that you know that they're gonna try to, follow us. You're like alert, and then like ranger shit. You'd probably be able to like.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact wording, but one of the ranger things is even while preoccupied, wait a second, here it is. Even when you are engaged in another activity while traveling, such as foraging, navigating, or tracking, you remain alert to danger.
Nice.
So I guess I'll be leaning on that and alert to like every mile and a half or so. Just make real good, stop the party for a couple of minutes and make real good checks around scanning the environment.
All right. And you all travel as a group?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I assumed the way it would be like Fiona in front because of ranger stuff, and then Molly close behind, probably with like Lee or Aladrin behind her, and Oramus at the back, because that way we can have room scouting if we need to, and we have our most perceptive people where we need them.
Well, I figured I'd be in the front because I also am, have the map and I've been through here before, and you'd be in the back.
Okay, that's fine with me, as long as me being in the back doesn't hurt any perceptive stuff. Because I'm just worried about
And I'm definitely keeping an eye out as well.
Honestly, wouldn't it be most powerful if you took your ultimate form and created a tower? Because if Molly is directing Fiona to lead the party, so he can use his ranger stuff and be alert, that might be the most effective strategy.
And I'll have the high ground.
That's true.
I guess
Tower formation.
Bjorn will pull out his old David Bjorn rope thing and kind of restructure it a little bit to make a don't fall off harness for Molly. I guess he tied around his shoulders, like under the armpits,
A patented don't fall off harness. Interesting. Okay. I'm sure that won't inhibit your motion at all.
I mean, if it does, it does. I feel like it's more important to keep us all together, especially in this scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't let anybody get the drop on us.
Especially the rocks and the creepers.
Oh, yeah.
So, Does anyone else take any steps to hopefully prevent being followed, or to at least when you're being followed?
Dion would suggest to Oramus that he have Havern turn around if he's gonna, if he's gonna stay on his shoulder and like watch behind us.
I was either gonna do that or have him stay back for 10 minutes and then start scouting behind us.
And Ormus, you know that Havram can become invisible as well.
Well, I do now. That's awesome. I'm gonna have him do that.
Oh, you didn't know he could do that?
No.
Google it, man. Yes, he can become invisible. So that is something that he's able to do in his true form. So you can have him fly off as a bird and then become invisible and then just follow behind you far enough to hopefully see whoever is following you.
And I would assume you'd give him the command if he notices anybody, notify you so you can notify us.
Yeah, since we can communicate telepathically, he won't even have to say anything. Yeah, I'm gonna have him do that. I'm gonna have him go like 60 feet back, and then just kind of follow us.
Okay. All right, and
that way he'll be able to see us.
And I'm just gonna throw this one out too, because good tradecraft, because we're all in this together. But so another thing you could try, just again throwing it out there, especially Fion might think of it as a former hunter of individuals, that when you go from certain caves to certain caves, you might determine that there are certain choke points that they'll have to go through a small area, and if you go through and then wait out of sight, they're bound to come through to follow if they're following. So you could go through and wait and see if anyone follows. That could be another thing that you can do to try and test as well.
That's what I was making the scan for when we first stepped into the dark.
Yeah, but that of course will take a lot more time than just walking. But you now have 24 hours, and from Mollymort's description, it won't take more than just a couple of hours to get there. So you should have enough time.
Well, I mean, we could just continue on and leave Ormus's bird to hang out at the choke point and watch out for somebody following.
That's entirely possible as well.
And if they come to the choke point, if we're waiting, I can just let us know.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't the plan to find the scouters and say, like, hey, we need to go down and talk? We're letting you know, so there's no mistakes about us trying to infiltrate or anything like that. We just need to talk.
You never know. Mollymort has no idea what they did to Goat. So, anyway.
Yeah, honestly, I would feel better about getting the drop on them either way.
Oh, yeah.
Because at that point, it kind of makes it clear, like, we could have done something way worse than this if we wanted to.
We get the drop on them so they don't, because I'm a little worried about what they're going to do otherwise. And basically, get our way out of it that way.
Now let's see if you all can get the drop on. If you would please, roll some perception checks.
Do you even want me to bother?
You can if you want.
Was that specifically Lee, or was that all of us?
Anyone who's actively looking out.
Yeah, so that gives me a nat 2029.
Yeah.
All right. I got a 17.
Okay.
Wait, does Lee's +3 apply to this? Because if so, that means I got a 32.
No. That's for saves.
It's just a check. So you rolled a natural 20, and you rolled a 29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I roll for Lee and the goat?
Yeah, you can. I'll let you guys behind the curtain on this one. I have to roll a natural 20 to beat his perception. Well, let's see.
I got a 16 and an 11.
Who rolled the 16?
That was me. Or that was the goat. Yeah, that was the goat.
Well, even the goat can see them. They only rolled a 13 this time. You all pass through.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you all pass through the first chamber, looking around and don't see anything. And you probably even wait or have Hadram go back and wait. You might wait on the first one anyway, but you get through the second larger cave network. Nothing. And then as you're going through the third, you can just see a form hiding behind some rocks in a far distance. Right on the edge of the dark vision, you just see a little bit of movement. If you weren't looking for it, if you were just walking along, you probably never would have saw it. But because you all were actively looking, you just saw a little bit of movement. And you've seen nothing else move since. That's probably them.
I mean, you said he rolled a what for stealth? I got a plus 17 I got 17 for passive. What does Fion have for a passive?
Fion can see it. Molymort, you saw it. Ormus probably saw it.
I probably saw it before you guys.
Lee does not see it.
Lee,
He's looking in front of him.
Lee's the only one that didn't see it. Even the goat saw it.
He goes bah, and then does a hoof palm or face hoof. That's it.
Yeah.
So, are we going to continue on as if we didn't see him, or
We all just immediately turn around and are like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, no.
Or do we-
I feel like Fion, taps back, continues to walk, but taps back on whoever's behind him as a signal of okay, they're in sight. Now we're headed for a choke point if we find one along the way.
Yeah, I'll definitely tap on your shoulder as well, Fion, just in case you didn't see it. Not that that's likely.
We tap. Everybody's tapping on everyone.
Now, speaking of tapping, are you all now still actively watching them as you go by? Or are y'all trying to play it cool?
Well, I'm not.
I feel like Fion
Play
would
it
be
off.
playing it cool because, this is his.
Yeah, we're gonna try to turn it around and find him later.
Yeah.
All right.
Are there any little critters around?
You've not seen anything.
Get the jump on my.
Darn.
Yeah, you've not seen anything at all. There's not been so much of a hint of life.
For getting the jump on them again, I don't remember.
Yeah, we were supposed to be make sure we know where they're at, find the choke point, intercept them.
Gotcha. Okay. Basically, we go around a corner and then we turn around and wait for them to come around the corner, and then we're like, "Aha! We see you."
Basically, I think.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty certain Fion's probably used that tactic to bruiser some people into the money they owe to the order.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But you all are soon enough able to find yourself in an area where the only way across is to go on a narrow path beside a cliff that drops further down. And then on the other side, there's enough of a bend that this is a reasonable choke.
Yeah, as long as it's not on the cliff, because I don't want to get into a fight and one of us go plummeting off.
Yeah.
Because this isn't a vision anymore, as far as we know.
Yeah,
It was never a vision, as far as you know.
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about. We're not going to get another chance, Maybe. I don't want to risk it.
The aforementioned memes.
So I feel like Fion would, once we reach the choke point, have Aladrin and Lee on either side of it, with Fion behind Lee and Ormus behind Aladrin, and Molly's on Fion's shoulder. Because I feel like that's, we have our bruisers, and then our half-casters, and then our caster on top of one of the half-casters. Or I guess I'm a third caster. I don't know. Anyways, and just wait for them if that's okay with everybody.
All right. So y'all just want to try and get out of sight and wait.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah.
Your turn for stealth checks.
All right. If we get at it, do you
Not
think
bad.
this would be a time to cast Pass Without a Trace, Molly?
Actually, yeah, that probably will be a good idea.
I'm just asking if you think this would be the appropriate time.
How far are we from the actual fortress?
Pretty far, but this is
You're-
like, I guess, to hide from them.
You're about 2/3 of the way there.
I
Pass
mean,
Without a Trace is a second level spell. I can do it 3 times, or I could do it at high levels. That seems reasonable.
well,
Yeah,
I mean,
just hear from them, get the jump on them, you know.
yeah, like correct me if I'm wrong, but we weren't gonna stealth all the way there. We were just gonna intercept these guys and have them take us there, right?
Possibly.
I
We were
think that
trying
was
to
the plan.
decide upon interrogation. But
Wait a second, I just remembered something. Did one of you guys give the Cloak of Elvenkind to Lee?
I didn't.
I gave
I think
mine to
always-
somebody, but I can't remember who because I have the ring.
Does he have
To
the ring?
Aladrin, yeah.
Yeah, I think Aladrin might have it.
I don't remember. I think I remember discussion about it. Because of how low his hiding ability is. I don't remember.
I have +4 to stealth. My stealth isn't terrible.
All
Yeah.
right.
And
Yeah.
now, of course, if when Molly Morton casts Pass Without a Trace, you get a +10 on top of whatever. So
Okay. Well, I think I'm good without it. And either way, I've got my brown cloak. It's not magical, but you know that'll work.
Well, I mean, I feel like if Aladrin has a +4, Fionn would definitely have given the cloak to Lee.
Well, I know we originally gave it to Aladrin because Lee wouldn't have much use for it normally. But I was thinking that after the
I'll be
vision,
right back. Okay, sorry.
we might have traded it over. It doesn't matter, honestly. With the Pass Without a Trace, I'm good without it for now. So I'm just ready to roll, you know.
Okay. So
As long as I roll 1 and fuck this for everybody.
what do we get for Pass Without a Trace?
a +10
10.
to Dex checks.
Oh, then I rolled a 34.
Good
Nice. I'm gonna roll for the goat first. If I can find the stats for the goat, I literally lose them every time.
I got 27.
Well, that's really good.
Where did it? Okay. Okay, it's just a flat roll. An 18 for the goat.
Okay.
And a 16 for Lee.
Okay.
Gosh, dang, Lee, you need to roll better.
I can't help it.
I
Is
find
that
it-
with the +10?
I'm pretty sure it's with the +10. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it kind of ridiculous that with Molly's +10, I had a +17 to that roll.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the fun stuff.
I have a +0.
Total, I got a 32. 5, yeah, 32.
Nice. Aladrin, I guess, since he's not here back yet. Some.
He said he had a +4, an advantage, right?
Well, he doesn't have a. I don't. Well, if he's got the cloak, then yeah, he does have a.
Oh yeah, I would have put my cloak up. I get advantage. I'm rolling again.
Nice.
Yeah,
So Aladrin got a +14.
Same thing.
You have the same exact thing.
No, I mean it was a lower number, so it's
Oh,
you
okay.
know not
I was
changing.
going to say, yeah, that's strange. That happens, I guess. 1 out of 5, technically. Okay, that gives me enough to work on. So, yeah, Lee, it's probably not any surprise here.
I tried so hard. Maybe I should have taken the cloak.
but
You should have.
yeah, as they come around this particular area, one you can see she looks both ways and looks around, but doesn't see anything and continues on. But the other one, it's tough to tell. Maybe she just sees part of one of his hammers sticking out behind a rock or something. But she sees something, and she yells out in Undercommon.
Flying leap attack.
Yeah, she yells out in Undercommon, something that Fionn you recognize, essentially being sister on our left, and they begin trying to run off.
I am going to leap after them and try to tackle the one that collared.
You're going to tackle them?
I feel like Fionn would have stood up and, been like, in Undercommon, sister's weight, just as a...
Well, Molly Mort said that she was leaping after to tackle.
Yeah, no, just like, that's what I mean, is like, I imagine Fionn stands up to say, hold on, wait, and then Molly just flies off his shoulder.
All right, well, let's get some initiatives, because that might be necessary.
Why couldn't I have gotten this for the stealth? I got an 18 just now. That would have been a 28.
I got 11.
Oh, and the goat got a natural 1. Wait, we have the same initiative. Never mind.
So
The goat face hoofs.
what did you roll, Lee?
I got an 18, which I wish I had gotten for my stealth, because that would have been a 28.
Yeah, fully.
So, for my stealth...
Aladrin? Yeah, unfortunately, Aladrin, Lee was somewhat not stealthy enough, and they were alerted by Lee. Regardless of what number... Well, in fact, if you want to... For your stealth, Aladrin, what'd you get?
Including the pass without a trace, it would have been a 26.
Yeah, you were fine. It was Lee. It's all Lee's fault.
Even the goat succeeded, right?
Even the goat succeeded, yeah.
What is up with me today? I even took off the armor.
I know. If you would please roll initiative, Aladrin. And Ormus, what'd you get?
I got a 5.
5.
Pretty sure I'm going last.
Fionn?
17.
17. Aladrin, what do you got?
That would be a total of 20.
20. All right.
For initiative?
Yeah.
So
what occurred for this?
Hold on, wait a second. Actually, I don't think it did my initiative roll correctly because it didn't add anything. Usually it adds when you... Yeah, it didn't add mine correctly, I don't think.
So
okay.
So 17 plus 8 would be...
Jesus fuck.
That's 25, bud.
Yeah, so that'd be 25.
Okay.
God, that's insane.
Can I take like 10 points from your initiative and add it to mine?
Well, I built Fionn to go first because he has ambush tactics. That's when he gets his best damage off, is when he goes first.
And ironically, this could have been an ambush situation, but you're trying to be peaceful about it. So what occurred, Aladrin, is you all had spotted them, and then you tried to lose them at a choke point, or not so much lose them, but to break off to watch them so that you could be the ones on the caboose of this murder train, so to speak. And when they came through, one didn't spot you, the other spotted Lee and alerted the other, and they were just about to run off when Molly Mort declared that she was going to leap at them and try to tackle one.
Grab their leg or something.
Yeah.
What happened to diplomacy?
Well, you gotta get them to stop running away if you want to talk to them.
That's
I'm
fair.
not hurting them, just tackling them.
because Fionn and Mollymort both wanted to react, and the enemies also wanted to react, we'll go ahead and give you guys a surprise round. But only for Mollymort and Fionn.
And not Lee.
No, not Lee.
Yes.
Lee still thinks he's hidden.
Yeah.
But
I can take the natural one for Lee.
nah, you're fine. So with Fionn, you were primed. You said you wanted to shout something.
Yeah.
This is your moment. What do you want to shout?
I feel like Molly said something first, so I feel like she should get the first go.
Well, yeah, but you both wanted to react, and you rolled much, much, much higher. I'm just giving the opportunity to shout before, or you can say that you want to wait and let Mollymort do her thing.
As Molly sails through the air, Theo could yell it.
Yeah, I guess Fionn will. He'll stand up and he'll shout out to them in Undercommon. Hold. We mean no harm. We're not trying to ambush you or anything. We just wanted to intercept. We want to talk. We want to go down and speak with the
Draw Overlord?
Yeah, speak with your overlord. We have some things that we need to discuss with him.
Yeah. We just didn't want you to kill us. That's why we, I say in comment, they probably don't understand.
You didn't understand a word of it, no.
That's true. He said that in Undercommon, so I have no idea what's going on.
Correct. And Mollymort, do you want to still leap at them?
Oh, and I will say Fionn has his hands up in a, not defensive, I guess surrendering stance.
No weapons in hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mollymort, would you like to do anything?
I would still like to tackle the one that hollered and shout, "I only speak gnome!" and tackle them.
Nice.
And I'm doing this in common, by the way.
With the ring of jumping, so you just like fucking fly through the air like a vampire.
Yep.
Okay. That triples your jump distance, correct?
I believe so.
I know we've done this so many times.
Would you like me to check that real quick?
Yes, if you would. Well, I'm going to look up the rules for the 18th time of how far one can jump.
Without a run, it's half your strength score on a long jump.
Fair. So...
My strength score is 1.
No, not your bonus, your actual strength score.
Oh,
For a long jump.
it's 12.
Well,
so, 18 feet?
Well, let's see here. I'm going to say that, just because I think it's hilarious, that Fionn, him coming up out of cover, counted as a running start, because
fuck. I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
36. Oh my god.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you 36 feet of lateral movement for this jump, Mollymort. Because you just completely jump over there. You were able to go ahead and make. Oh man, this is gonna be tricky. An acrobatics check to attempt to actually land on this individual.
And meanwhile, Fionn is just watching, shocked as she springboarded off of him.
Yeah.
He's 5.
5. Wonderful.
Yes.
You just sail over their heads.
In terms of
That's what I was hoping.
it's not.
Hurt.
Yeah, in terms of directing yourself, not great. Oh, and she rolled a 20 to avoid you. So, yeah, you just get leaped, and she doesn't really even have to sidestep you, so much, but she's like, they're hurling gnomes, sister. It's a pass for Shivlin, or whatever they're called. And she is. They are at this point drawing weapons because of this strange occurrence of flying gnomes being used as weapons of some kind, while someone is shouting with, frankly, probably not a great accent in Undercommon.
That's fair.
And then someone else is also shouting in Common. So, not the happiest bunch. So, right up at the top again, Theon. We're doing a full turn. You get actions and everything. What would you like to do?
I'll just call out again. Like, we mean no harm. She was just trying to stop you from running. Like, we just want to talk. Please put down your weapons. And he's saying this in undercommon to them, and he'll say to the rest of the party, stand up, make sure you don't draw weapons. We're trying to make sure that they see us clearly as not a threat.
Roll a persuasion check, please.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit, nat 20.
Hell yeah. This is the perfect time for that, too. Like, it makes sense for the story to me.
I was so expecting to roll like a 2, and I have a flat 0 on charisma.
As you say that, they've still got weapons ready, but we will see what they do. And of course, that can all depend on what happens a little further down the order. Aladrin, you've heard a lot of not elvish, dark, disgusting language being spoken.
Yeah.
Theon's telling you to drop your weapon. What would you like to do? Oh, and also Mollymort sprungboard at them.
Yeah.
Your flying squirrel.
I mean,
I wouldn't know a lot about drow culture. All I know is I fight them when they come up to the surface.
wait, no. Remember, Aladrin, we talked about this.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm gonna fight them because I would. It's not gonna end well for any of us involved. I was trying to think if I could use a cultural thing from them, but I wouldn't know any.
I mean, you might have, like, heard them say things before, but not know what they mean. So you're just like,
Yeah, you could
you just
roll.
look at them and you say, eat my ass, and,
Yeah.
in Underdark, and you think that's a greeting.
You could try if you want a kind of persuasion check, or maybe a history check, or religion check, or something to try and maybe remember something that you can say, or something. Wisdom or intelligence. Give me something.
I'm gonna roll a history check, see what I can try and remember.
Okay.
That's an 8.
Awesome.
You know that with the drow, that the women are usually in charge and not the men, and these are plainly women, so they're probably in charge.
No, I mean, it works for us because Molly is in charge of our group.
Yeah.
You might also think that they won't want to talk to a dude,
Yeah.
but whatever.
When they don't respect gnomes either. Shit, what are we gonna do?
I'm going.
This is designed to not be you. It's so weird.
Quickly, Theon, disguise yourself as a woman.
I'm going to stand up and say in Elvish, our matron wants to speak with the warlord.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. That was epic.
I don't know what effect that's gonna have, but
I
Go
don't
ahead and
care.
roll a
Allison,
persuasion.
that was awesome.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check, please.
that is a total of 14.
You say wants to speak with their warlord?
Their
Our
matron.
matron.
Mate,
You know, or
gotcha.
Molly.
Yeah. Very nice. The matron that was just thrown at you. But
Also, I do not understand him when he says this.
yeah,
Just
because you don't
remind-
speak Elvish. Right.
Okay, Lee does, and he'll play along.
Speaking of Lee, you speak Elvish. You understood what Theon has said to you all, and you understood what Aladrin said to me. What would you like?
Lee says out loud as he stands up. He says, "Yes."
In what language?
In a common, Molly is our leader, and then he thinks about it for a second, and he says it in Elvish then too.
Do you motion to Mollymort?
Yes, I motion to Molly Mort.
Still on the ground.
On the ground.
Our great leader.
Can't say I didn't take initiative.
I mean, to be fair, she was riding around the tallest one of us like a motorcade.
This is true.
I mean, honestly, this would be a great time to turn into a spider, or maybe not now, but like if we need it as an advantage.
Speaking of, Molly Mort, what would you like to do?
Wait, what did Lee say in common first?
She's our leader.
Yes, she's our leader.
While pointing at you. And then he said something in Elvish.
I'm going to sit up, look around, like, me? Yes? Yes, me.
Yes, we all nod. I nod at her. Yeah. And
Yes.
she also stands up.
You say this in common, I assume, Molly Mort?
Yes.
Alright.
But you point at yourself, though, right?
Yes, in confusion, questioningly.
Okay. Would you like to do anything else? They're standing there, bows in hand. Now one looking down at you. And looking back at them, and then down at you.
No, I'm just gonna sit here, see how this plays out.
Alright. This has been a strange couple of moments for them, for sure. They discuss quietly a moment in Undercommon, and then say in Elvish to Mollymort, who is on the ground, why have you come here?
Do any of us overhear that and can like translate?
They say it loud enough.
If
But
I can,
They are addressing it at Mollymort. They're not giving you all the respect of an answer. But
perfect.
It is
Perfect.
technically Orm's
I'm going to
turn.
say, you,
Wait,
Tiny, translate.
Hold on.
Well, it is Ormus's turn.
It is my turn. Yes,
What would
and
you like to do?
walk up to Molly, bow down, and just kind of like with arm on my shoulder, go down one knee, head down, and I say that she wishes to know what you want, my lady. And if I can roll a deception for them.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Actually, I'm
That is a
surprised
28.
The rest of us had to roll deception for that.
Well, because nothing you technically said was untrue per se, Lee.
That's true.
Because Mollymort was your leader. She was the one guiding you. She was leading you.
Hell yeah.
And everything else that they said was true. So Ormus is the only one that's technically skirting it a bit, like, you know, my lady and such.
Hell yeah.
And because I speak both Elvish and Common, I figure
Yeah.
probably act now while it's my turn, and I'm just like, well, I can play this out real well.
And you've got the highest charisma, so you're kind of the perfect person to be a go-between.
And with the
Exactly.
bowing and such. So if you would, Ormus, what did you roll with your deception?
I got a 28.
Okay. Broken. And they rolled a natural 1. So,
Nice.
the one that had recognized you all actually puts the bow, puts the arrow away, while the other still covers her. Not drawing the bow back, but it is notched and ready to fire if needed. But she does go lower and offer you a hand, Molly, to help you stand up. This is the one that you attempted.
But it was obvious. It was so bad of a tackle that you probably just thought, oh, she wasn't trying to attack me.
Yeah, she doesn't know what it was really, but you all seem to be too inept to be much of a threat right now, and she will give the respect of a highborn lady. Which she seems to think, although she has a strange following. But we can for now undo or go away with the initiative order, but at some point, someone will have to answer her in Elvish for her question.
To be fair, we are surface dwellers, so they probably just think we're all freaks anyway.
That they do.
Oh, they're stupid. They're from the surface, obviously.
Yeah. But honor is very important.
Yeah.
And while at a certain point slaughter is just something you have to do, honor is important for sure. In this particular case, you all wanted to speak. They will listen before killing you, if that's what you want.
Nice.
Anyone have any idea how long Mollymore might be?
I don't know.
Not that the entire thing hinges on her.
I mean, kinda. Okay, who, what did we need to answer in Elvish?
They asked, what are you all doing?
Oh, and Molly disappeared, okay.
Vroom vroom.
Yeah.
Can we just take a second, since it does kind of hinge on Molly?
Certainly, take as many seconds as you all like.
Just freeze.
I was about to go
awkward
very differently there for a second.
Yeah, Fionn was about to walk up and, but
apparently they won't listen to anybody but Molly, which worked. So we will all be Molly's men.
Yeah.
And you can certainly try.
Sorry, I just had the thought Molly and her band of merry men.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
pretty good one. And it's not that they won't listen to anyone else. It's just that they're innately going to listen to her a little bit more. And since you all just kind of pushed it that way, okay. But they're probably more inclined to talk to a woman than a man.
I think that works nicely, and since she doesn't speak Undercommon or Elvish, perfect person with the highest charisma could be her like visor / translator.
Mm-hmm.
And not to put the icing on the cake, but I do have tongue, so in case
That's
we
true.
need it.
We can also say that Molly is too highborn to speak to them directly, and will speak through us instead.
I think it's okay if she just doesn't understand. If she doesn't understand it, she is from a foreign place.
Yeah.
We can say that she is the princess of her village or something, and friggin' she was sent here to retrieve that from the warlord.
Maybe.
Look at that.
Let's-
Quick question. Where is Tavram right now?
He's still probably out back watching them.
Okay.
But after like all this kind of comes up, I'm sure he'll like, okay, just sit back.
I don't think we want to tell them
Greetings,
that we want to
Molly.
steal their weapon.
So the one that you attempted to tackle is offering you a hand to help you stand up.
I heard the whole thing, but I guess you guys just couldn't hear me. I don't know why it wasn't working. Discord doesn't.
Anyway,
Do I sound okay?
yeah.
Yes, you're not muted anymore.
I was not muted before, not according to what I was showing.
That really sucks because Discord sucks. But
Anyway,
Over and call for Tiny. Come here.
Fionn walks over and once he gets within a couple of feet of Molly, bows.
they are like keeping a good couple of feet between all of you. As you all move closer, they move back.
Lee doesn't move
Bo's still
closer.
at
He
the ready.
scratches the goat.
Okay.
Climb up onto Fionn, then pat his head. Good boy.
They speak back and forth a moment, really quick. And Fionn, you, understanding Undercommon, know that one of them said to the other, "That's a strange mount."
Nice.
And the other responded, well, something inappropriate. But anyway.
Oh gosh.
I only speak Gnomish and Common. Do you speak Common?
They don't answer.
I stop and point at Aladrin and ask them, and I tell him, ask him if they speak Common, please.
I translate into Elvish.
By the by, I feel like Fionn was translating everything that they were saying up until the inappropriate comment to Molly.
That's
Just kind
fair.
of whispering it. Yeah.
Yeah. They will respond that they speak Elvish, and they nod.
What about the common tongue?
They say again, yes, we speak Elvish, and nod.
That's the okay.
And
that's...
we speak, and they answer in undercommon that we speak this, yes, as well.
That tracks.
This might be the right time for tongues. Doesn't that last 8 hours?
I think that's him only, though.
It lasts for 1 hour, unfortunately.
I'm going to tell Aladrin to tell them you'll translate for me.
Yeah. I will, just assume that I translate everything back and forth.
Wouldn't it be better for Fiona to do it since he can speak Undercommon?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Wait.
Yeah, it is
Elvish,
just a
Fiona?
touch spell. It's not a
Everyone
self
talking at once.
Fionn, do you speak Elvish?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so you can understand it when they speak Elvish. So that seems to be the accommodation they're willing to make, is to speak Elvish.
Her mount also comes with the ability to translate.
Yeah, like I've actually acquired a couple of languages through class and training, so now I
Cool.
speak Dwarvish, Elvish, Giant, Undercommon, and Draconic.
Nice.
Who has a higher charisma?
Ormus.
Yeah, definitely Ormus. I have a flat.
Okay, so Fiona can act as the mount and translate when they speak Undercommon because they may not know that we know. Well, they know that he speaks Undercommon, but Ormus can probably translate as long as they're speaking in Elvish. I think that's a decent accommodation.
Yeah.
Look around and say, well, whoever's going to translate, just translate for me, okay?
Ormus pals, I guess. What do you do? What do you do? Who does what?
I guess that would be Ormus for Elvish, or yeah, Ormus when he's speaking to them, and I'll just be a steady translation bird in your ear.
And
If they had watches, they would be checking them right.
I don't think we're talking about this in character. I think we're trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there was a point where everyone was talking. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have watches?
No.
Do they have small sundials on their wrist that are useless because they're in the Underdark?
No, because they're in the Underdark. No sun. So, the question is still stands. Why are you all here?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Translate and then answer.
I'm going to look around and say in common, we are here to see the Lord? Question mark. And I show his face with minor illusion.
Nice. That was a nice touch.
You can see that they look at it, and as it's translated back, I'm assuming you want to go as close to word for word, whoever is translating.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go word for word.
She responds again, focused, not addressing. She says, "Business with Lord Zaphres."
No. I don't know what's going on, so. Well, wait, they're speaking Elvish.
Call it weapons trading.
Weapons trading.
Discuss.
Trading? Trading. Okay. We want to proceed with caution here.
Yeah.
Ormus, if you would, a persuasion check? Or would this be more... I mean, because this is a kind of weapon trade that in the sense that you want to get a weapon from him. So I guess it's more of a persuasion check.
Yes, certainly. That is an unnatural 20.
Okay. She says, do you have Dwarvish steel to trade?
Yeah.
Do we?
The head of my great axe is Dwarvish steel from Verbenville.
Oh
Huh?
yeah, true. I guess my
And
scimitars
it's an
are as
enchanted
well.
weapon.
I will say we have many things to trade. Please show us the way.
I also wonder if Lee's hammer would be Dwarvish.
I mean, I'd assume
It is.
everything we picked up in
Yeah.
Bourbonville would be.
A lot of it is, yeah. They say that you will need to surrender your weapons.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want to see the scene where Aladrin is just dropping weapon after weapon after weapon.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out a hidden mace that was in his pants.
Yeah.
And
There's
I
there's
don't
a
have to
lot.
give them anything.
Fionn says, "Excuse me, madam," and undoes his scimitar sheaths, because I imagine he had the back sheaths.
Yeah. And they're underneath the patented don't fall off harness.
Yeah. But can I make a sleight of hand to try and hide one of the whips?
Yeah.
Well, alright.
I know this might be really dumb, but
Yeah, that's a dangerous move.
I really, really hope this doesn't fuck all of this up.
I rolled an 18, so whatever my bonus is, I don't remember.
Let's see. They get a
25?
oh crap. Okay.
I really hope this succeeds.
And you're trying to hide a whip, an
Yeah.
entire whip.
Well, I imagine the way I imagine Fionn is he has everything on his back, so he has his whips on the back of his belt.
That's fair. Okay. But they continue to stand there and say again, you must all surrender all of your weapons.
Alright.
I definitely put down all of the hammers. I put my warhammer and my 2 light hammers.
I drop.
Who has, or whoever, out of character question, who has the spear right now?
Aladrin.
Yeah. But it doesn't look special, right?
Exactly. It looks like a crappy spear.
Yeah.
Do
So
you keep the spear wrapped up in anything?
I mean, it's probably
Point.
it's hidden in camouflage in a sense, like it's hidden with the pike and the javelins. So if you had to take a guess and say which one of these is magical, you would probably assume the pike because it's the biggest and more.
Sense magic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless you
looking
had-
at the spear of a carpenter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far Theon has wanted to hide some whips, and we'll see how well he did that. But is anyone else trying to hold out, or are you all disarming completely?
I am technically holding out, but I have a good reason for it. I drop all of my hammers and everything that looks like a weapon, and then I have a branch that's wrapped up in my backpack. And it's just a branch.
Okay.
And I'm technically not even holding any weapons, so.
Because I feel like I want to know: does it look enough like it could not be a weapon or not considered a weapon that I'd be able to hold on to it?
You're talking about the club, right?
Yes.
It doesn't look like a very good weapon, and it's in the bag. So, assuming they search you, they'll probably never know.
All right. I definitely put all my weapons down.
Or assuming they don't search you. But if you get rid of everything obvious, they haven't searched anyone yet. So, but if they search you later, they might find it as something. But it's just like a stick. It's not a very good weapon.
Yeah, when they specifically said all of your weapons, I feel like Fionn would have dropped his other whip.
Okay.
I
So
put my cloak down and put all of my weapons inside and then bundle it up.
all right.
But he will say in undercommon, apologies. I have to do my best to protect my.
They address you
Nature.
mid-sentence and say, "Do not butcher our language with your tongue." They say that. That's the only time they have addressed you directly.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
You her.
See, here's the. I feel like anybody else it would bother Fionn, but his mentor trained him, and she was a drow, and I feel like she probably had the same attitude.
You could have heard that before, actually.
To be fair, they did say it in undercommon, so no one else knows that you got. So it's okay.
I mean, we know the tone.
Yeah,
Oh,
we need the diplomacy route though, so we might have to take a little bit of shit.
Yeah,
Set mine aside, please.
yeah, definitely. Fionn
All
isn't
right.
letting this get to him.
Is everyone sufficiently disarmed? No weapons?
Other than the club.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah.
And Molly Mort, did you have anything to drop?
I grabbed all my weapons, sling,
Okay.
sickle, trauma. Looked at the immovable rod, shrugged and dropped it. Looked at the rain stick, shrugged and
Oh yeah.
looked, dropped it. Looked at the staff of fire, the wand of wonder, the wand of lightning, and dropped them all.
They were
Oh,
very impressed.
in the interest of complete clarity, yeah, I did mention at the beginning of this session that I just didn't take a spell for my fourth spell. When I decided that fourth spell would be Shadow Blade, so
Nice. Finally.
Okay.
in case it
What
comes
was it?
up and I cast it, so it's not like
What
Oh,
spell
yeah.
is it?
Shadow Blade.
Oh, nice. So you still do have a weapon.
I will let everyone know I am wearing gauntlets.
Oh. Okay.
That counts as a weapon.
That's fine. But they don't seem to, because at this point, they gesture that you all continue.
And if need be, worst case scenario, I can summon my blade as long as somebody stays within 20 feet of me. I can give it to them and just start casting Eldritch Blast.
Nice.
Oh, I love it.
I
I'm
am
a barb-
unfortunately completely useless without a weapon.
I'm a barbarian. My body is my weapon.
That's true.
Giggity. Giggity, giggity, giggity.
Molly Mort's ready to turn into an animal at any time. So, now that you all are sufficiently only openly disarmed, they motion for you all to continue marching. And they will follow behind.
I head forth with Molly on my shoulder.
All right. Does anyone say anything over the next couple of miles until you all eventually reach a tunnel that leads to a bridge?
I say nothing, just try to look majestic on Fionn.
Lee is riding on the goat in the back and singing, singing songs in Elvish. He
Alright.
tries to offer candy to one of the drow women at one point.
They don't respond.
I didn't think they would.
When you all eventually get to the bridge, they continue to motion for you all to march out onto the bridge, and you can hear the shout. And Fionn, you recognize the call for archers, as soon enough, this large wall that houses a large door, and above it several openings, is soon filled with archers that are looking down at you all. But no arrows have been slung. Or flung.
A side note, I dropped my hammers, but I definitely still have my shield.
That
I
shield
think
bash
they would
make 'em
allow
in
that.
handy.
They would allow that.
So who says that they're useless for that weapon? Is that Lee?
Yeah, but I technically have the club if I need it, and I can use Divine Smite with gauntlets if I absolutely have to.
But you all
Well,
are here.
I'll give you my weapon if you're proficient with long swords.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Fight
Your
ensues. My spectral blades.
Oh, got it. Okay, right, okay.
what would
Yeah.
you all like to do?
Follow them in.
No, you're here. You're on the bridge. You've got locked doors ahead of you. You've got 12 archers above you.
Huh.
I guess make an appeal to that you want to come in to speak to the Lord of the whatchamacallit?
Yeah. Oh god, what was the name she said?
I was just going to ask that. It was like Zephyr or something. It started with a Z.
Yeah.
So, Lord Zephyrs is the person that she named. And then you recall, too, that Ms., when you showed her face in her home earlier, referred to him as real. If you all would perhaps want to retcon it and see if you ask Miz the guy's name, I can give you his name.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I feel like we would have done that.
Absolutely terrible at asking for information.
Yeah, like I feel like in character we definitely would have, but out of character we just did not think of it.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty good at asking for names. At least, in terms of, likeness. Wow, what a name.
Felriel calls Zephyrs.
Nice. I love his name.
Yeah, so he seems to go by real.
Phil real call? Jesus.
Yeah, Felriel calls Zephyrs.
That is a name.
Can we call him real and not get executed?
Drow, they like Z's in their clan names, and they put in a lot of breaks into their first names.
They like a lot of X's too, for some reason.
They lot of X's, yeah, a lot of unnecessary consonants. This is a tame Drow name.
It's like French, but with consonants instead of vowels.
Lord Holy's X's.
Lord Zephyrs will probably do.
What? We need more Z's and X's in Molly's name, though. That's what I'm saying. Malik Smort. Malik Smort.
Just put an apostrophe between the first and the second L. So Mal apostrophe Lee apostrophe Mort. Or put Mal apostrophe Lim apostrophe Ort. Mal Lee Mort.
I love it.
Mal Lim Ort. Anyway, but you all are on the bridge. You call out for him.
Queen, whichever.
Presumably Ormus will be your speaker since he has a higher charisma.
Yeah.
I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Sure. Ormus, what is the wording you use?
I'm calling out for him, or I'm gonna be asking the ladies
because it would be more respectable to ask for the queen, because she's a woman.
Yeah, but our business isn't with her.
It might be if he's her nephew. We can discuss things with her over him.
Yeah.
I don't think you all asked. I don't think you all asked about the queen's name.
Nope. But I think it would be polite enough to refer to her just as the queen.
I think we should just be upfront with our intentions. Just tell them what we want and why we're here.
I feel like just we wish to speak with the royalty would work.
Yeah, that works too.
So, what's the exact wording you use, Orma?
Fucking shit. Not that.
Fucking shit.
That's under my breath.
And 24 arrows.
Too bad I didn't take any levels of monk. Shit. Alright, I'll call out and ask for an audience with the warlord, and I'll say his full name because I can't fucking pronounce that.
Belrokoth Zephyrs. It's not difficult. That was easy. I think I pronounced it correctly. Anyway.
I'll say that our lady, Molly Mort, and I'm assuming in character I know your last name, wishes to speak to Felriel Zephyrs, the Highborn Male Drow Warlord.
Much better. Saying that your lady's requesting it is much better. If you would please roll a persuasion check.
Woo!
Hell yeah.
I always forget my fucking. Okay, so it's plus. That is a 25.
I rolled a natural 20. Still did better. Okay. So You can see that there's a bit of looking each other at the top, and seemingly the sort of watch commander gives a kind of act casual order as they all just continue to wait, and one of them goes off. No response is given. It's awkwardly quiet. Especially awkward because there's, like a dozen archers with arrows knocked just staring at you guys.
I mean, we aren't dead yet, so that's a major improvement over the last time we did this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of just give like a wave, like, sup to the archers, and then just that's it.
Lee says in common to Molly, he says, daylight now?
Oh, it
No?
took a while for the warlord to get to us when, we were in, let's just call it yesterday.
In other today?
Yes, in the other timeline.
Okay, just tell me when.
Yes, tomorrow. We'll call it that.
Yeah, when Lee will be ready and willing whenever Molly gives the word to cast daylight, because he's just wanting for it.
Just be patient.
After about a minute and a half or so, the doors, the door really begins to crack open, and you hadn't experienced it before, but it's kind of cool. It essentially, well, anyway, but it opens up. The door opens, whatever, and there's a relatively handsome, tough drow fella walking out. He's got a bow in one hand, no arrows, no quiver, just a bow, and a sword on his hip, and he just strides out a couple of feet onto the bridge. The archer's still behind. The door's still open behind him, and he calls out in Elvish, "What do you want? And why should we not kill you?"
That's a great question. I still have no idea what's going on, or is he speaking Elvish?
He's speaking Elvish.
Okay, thank God.
Because you had made the request in Elvish, so they respond in kind. Polite
Well, that's
people.
nice of him.
Yeah. Polite for drow.
Yeah.
Well, drow are honorable, even if they want to kill
Does
you.
anyone answer?
I would just,
Might be you.
yeah, just to keep up the facade. I say you would respond if you spoke Elvish, and then I would. No, you don't speak Elvish. Okay, so I will
No.
translate to you in common what he said, and then just keep up the facade in common. You just say anything, whatever, and I'll either translate it exactly, or I will kind of put my
Wait it.
yeah.
Had a
clean it
little
up.
diplomacy on top.
Well, Fion's in Molly's ear translating what they're saying, so it's just like you're just like you translate to them, I translate to Molly. So like,
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe,
fair enough.
but to keep up the facade, I think it would be better for Ormus to translate anyway.
Yeah, have be presented as my official translator.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Fiona's like an extra little secret translator that they don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the undercommon part.
And I'm keeping my head down, not like making eye contact with any of the women, female drow. Like trying to be as respectful as I can of them,
Well, I'll add the two scouts are clearly female, but this lord and seemingly all the archers, from what little of them you can see, they do appear to all be male.
Yeah, in Drow society, the males are the working and fighting force, while women are the rulers. Or no, women are the fighting force, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, it goes back and forth. In many ways, men are sort of the workers and the servants to some respect, and also even fighters and warriors. But certainly, women will usually be more in charge, more special. It's tough to tell, really. In some cases, it goes back and forth, and there are some sub pockets where they're pretty darn even. But in this particular one, for whatever reason, there's a bunch of men on the wall, and there's 2 female scouts behind you, and the female scouts behind you seem to not like the men, but here's a male in front of you who they called Lord.
Drow culture confuses me.
Yeah.
Lee says that out loud.
Yeah, this is quite confusing.
None of them speak common, so
Yeah.
that you know of. Dun dun dun. Anyway,
Fionn says to Lee and Giant. Wait, Lee does speak Giant, right? I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah. He says, "Yeah, that's just the standard of it. It's all confusing."
but do you all have an answer for the why are you here? Did we not kill you?
I'm gonna say I thought you'd be a little bit more respectful than those barbaric dwarves up there.
Nice.
Aren't you going to invite us in? We came unarmed. You can ask the ladies over there.
They gave their names, but honestly, I'm so bad at remembering details. I can't remember people's names in real life.
That's fine.
Yeah, same.
Or elf name.
That's fine. So, Ormus, do you translate this word for word, or do you clean it up?
I'm going to say Our Lady here wishes to come down and offer a trade with you. May it be in arms or soldiers, and was wondering if you would be kind enough to invite us in to discuss this.
Completely disregarding the edge of salt?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, do you mention the dwarves?
Not at all.
No.
Oh man, I thought the dwarves was a really nice touch.
I did too.
Not when it was kind of insulting.
Yeah, that's true, but like they hate the dwarves and they're bound by honor, so like kind of making them like pulling the honor card on them is probably a good idea.
We'll save that for later.
The dwarves were quite barbaric in how they were going about things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm really glad Fion's not here. Not Fion. Wow, Philbin. Fuck. That's how bad I am with names.
It's okay. F
Give any
sounds.
inkling. Huh?
It's okay. F sounds.
Fion, would you have told me that he didn't quite translate that how I said?
I was just about to say, yeah.
I don't think so, because I feel like Fionn has the clarity of mind to know that Ormus is much better at people than he is, so he would assume that it would be in the effort of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give everybody like a side eye, like just play along.
He sighs and says, "All right, and what is it you have to trade?"
I will translate to Molly.
I literally have no idea how we are going to get this this bow. Like, I have no plans. I have no idea.
I have an idea.
Okay.
My immediate thought was, well, when we're alone with him, we just kill him and take it.
I mean, I guess, but then how do we escape?
Yeah, let's go with plan A and not skip to plan Z.
But yeah, he asks, "What do you have to trade?" He seems like frustrated and just like, all right,
Information?
not satisfied with this answer.
Possibly information, possibly weapons. I know that your bow is certainly much more impressive than the what was the weapon the dwarf up top was boasting about? An axe?
A
Like
double-headed
Doomslayer?
axe, yeah.
Like Doomslayer or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was bragging and saying it was much better.
All right.
Miss?
Is that do you translate word for word, or
I gotta think of that one.
I say it, but good.
I'm gonna say that my lady has heard legends of the bow that you wield and wanted to come down and see for herself, since the smelly dwarf up top decided that he wanted to boast about his double-headed axe, and she is looking for trade or purchase of your weapon in trade of either men to help guard against the dwarves, weapons to help slaughter the dwarves with, or what was the other one, Molly?
Information.
Oh yeah, or information.
He says that he's heard legend of the axe they call Doom, and when he says Doom, he uses the dwarven for Doom, which probably has something along the lines of "day without fear." But anyway, he uses the dwarven word for Doom, and he said that he's heard that it's quite a formidable weapon. He would be interested in taking that and trade for this old bow. And he holds this bow without a string on it.
Can I make an insight check to see if I noticed that he used the dwarven word for
You definitely notice that there was a dwarven word. I don't know if you know the word for, but you probably recognize it from what was said just the day before, or actually even just earlier this day, when the other dwarves were talking. It was the same word used to refer to the axe.
I feel
So he
like
seems to be talking about the axe.
Molly has made it clear that she doesn't speak Dwarvish, and Fionn would have translated that one Dwarvish word since it's like the bird in the air right now.
Yeah. It is a very powerful weapon. I'd be quite interested in it. If you required this in trade, of course, we would be happy to give you mineral wealth if you value such things like the dwarves.
I'm going to say, aren't you going to invite us in to discuss this? And look impatient.
I'm just gonna translate. I apologize, Lord Zephyrus, but my lady is growing very impatient. She would like to come in, have a seat, and discuss.
We have journeyed long.
We have journeyed very long. I'm gonna respond to, or kind of like nod off and kind of like give a gesture towards what he said.
He says in broken common, "What more do we have discussed?"
What we have discussed?
What more we have discussed? I have bow. You want bow? You bring axe.
We can go get the axe, guys. If you Lee shrug.
That would take from my dead hand.
We don't want to fight you. I say in common.
Well, duel if he's as honorable as he's.
I'd like that.
I do.
Exactly.
Good idea.
Well, if it's a duel,
it is in front of his men, and they are about. You could actually challenge him to single combat if you wanted.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a terrible idea. I mean,
what would he have to offer up?
Well, you could offer him fuck, I mean, like...
you could offer up one of us.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if we can't do this, we're fucked anyway, so, like...
I mean, like, you could spin it, the reason why you're on my shoulder is I'm your personal bodyguard, so... No, because then I would have to be the one in the fight. So.
Lee, you do have one artifact that would be worth a duel to someone defending themselves in a cave.
Ooh, you know what? Okay, all honestly, who is the best person here to fight him? Because honestly, I'm kind of thinking Lee would be a decent matchup against him because of his light abilities. And unfortunately, Aladrin's Rage wouldn't be able to resist a magic weapon.
Yeah. No, it actually would. Rage cuts in half all piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing.
Really?
Yep.
Magic or non-magic.
It does.
Holy fuck. Then yeah, Aladrin would probably be the best.
that's why bear barbarians are so stupidly good, because then they
Yeah.
resist everything.
Except
Including
psychic.
psychic afterwards. Yep. Yeah, except psychic.
Ah, damn. Okay, yeah, then
That was
Aladrin would
including.
be our best bet for a fighter. But then I would none of us would be able to help you though.
Yeah, but
We can
let's
buff
put
them. I'm sure. I don't think they'd notice, or hopefully
like,
not notice.
let's put it into raw numbers. I have 104 hit points while I'm raging. If he's not using spells, that would effectively be doubled to a 208.
Yeah. I have regeneration, and I can do a lot of damage all at once.
Yeah.
Also, I can blind him.
All
My
right.
armor class sucks right now, though. It's only a 16.
Yeah.
So it's only a 16, he says, while the guy who can only get up to a 16.
It's normally a 20, though. I mean, that's a big difference, and that's kind of my biggest strong point is my heavy armor.
Yeah.
So I feel like if it comes down to two things. If we want to go technical, we go Lee. If we want to go all out brute, we go Aladrin. So
Well, it depends on if I have enough spell slots to beat him, because Aladrin can do consistent high damage, and Lee can do an enormous amount of damage all at once. But if I run out before he runs out, we are done.
Yeah.
okay, then I vote Aladrin because he's more sustainable than.
Yeah, if I had my heavy armor, I would probably make a bigger case for Lee, but honestly, I don't have it, and there's nothing I can do, so.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you all want to challenge him to single combat then?
Well, do you want to, guys? Do you want to go the route of getting the axe from the evil asshole dwarves, or do you want to go the route of fighting the evil assholes down here and taking the bow?
I feel like.
Well, I mean, we're already here.
Yeah.
We're kind of on time crunch.
Going back and taking the axe and then coming back down, it would just. I feel like it would just take too much time.
I feel like, yeah, it's worth the risk. Let's go for it. Remember, no underhanded helping him, because I don't think that they would take kindly to that. And if they happen to notice that like one of us blesses or guides Aladrin, like the single combat thing is over.
Yeah.
I could probably get away with giving you armor of Agathis.
Maybe if we can count it as support, but then he gets support and he has a lot more men. We don't know what kind of magic they can put on him.
Yeah, I see.
Do I see him wearing any armor yonder?
He seems to be wearing a kind of leather armor.
Oh, alright.
Okay, and Lee, you have nothing on right now?
I am wearing a breastplate. If I had that
okay.
I might be able to do something to him, and I can do a significant amount of damage.
Yeah.
And I can blind him, but that's the thing, is we don't know how many hit points this fucker has.
Yeah. So then it would be Aladrin fighting. Do you have armor?
My muscle is my armor.
Yeah, he's got unarmored defense from barbarian, so he's got what, like an 18?
I think, yeah, I have a 17.
Oh, I did just remember I do have a spell that if we're fighting on the bridge, I could just knock him off. If I Thunderous Smite this fucker, I mean...
Yeah.
But of course, if he's holding the bow...
That's true. Somebody'd have to grab it.
All right.
Well, I mean, I could just go down there and grab it.
That's true.
Yeah, you do have
Under a barrage of arrows.
Oh, man.
Well, no. If he won by single combat, knocking him off is a viable way.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see. Who knows? So, what are y'all doing?
Single combat via Aladrin?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Who
Okay.
is the challenge, and what do they say?
I will look at him, and as he says, on my dead body, I will be like, well, that can be arranged by if you are willing and brave enough to fight our mighty warrior, Aladrin.
Well, let's at least pretend that it's going through Molly, because like we've been doing the facade this whole time, and she would be the
Yeah.
one to have to issue the challenge.
Yeah, I feel like Fionn would speak very quickly to Molly in efforts of because he understands some common at least.
Well, you all did just discuss at least a little bit quietly to figure out this.
Yeah.
But he will say, "What do I get if I win?"
Is this the time to pull it out?
I think so. Yeah.
Whip it out, big boy.
I open up my backpack and I pull out a branch. I pull out a wrapped cloth, and then I unwrap the cloth and pull the branch.
We can't.
He says, "We do not need firewood."
Do you want me to demonstrate it?
Actually, instead, this is kind of bad, but I'm gonna pull out the eye of a shot.
Okay. And what are you gonna do with it?
I'm going to hold out and say, this is a very magical eye. I got it from the Queen of Hope, the humans, myself. Actually, she's a dragon, but semantic.
I mean, if anything, he can use it to see the magic of the club if he doesn't want the eye.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I feel like offering the club is a big, big risk.
I mean, it's
artifact for artifact. We have to have something big in order to gain his interest.
Yeah, and everybody should. That's why I asked if I should do it. You shouldn't have brought up your problems with it now. You should have brought them up when I asked if I should do it.
To you, I didn't catch you saying what it was.
Okay. Well, it's already out. It's going on. So like,
he says, "You offer a necklace and a stick."
You could offer.
I will say in Elvish, this stick is an artifact just as, if not more powerful than your bow right there. And if you do not believe me, Our Lady will allow you to step up, take the necklace, and look through it and see the magic that exudes from this, as you call it, stick.
Yeah, Leah's still holding it in kind of both hands, like on his palms.
He shrugs and says, "What magic does it do?"
Well, we haven't tested it yet because apparently it destroys mountains.
We're doing the spear, right?
Oh, I thought we were doing the stick.
We had to give over the spear.
The spear's sitting in a cave a couple miles back.
Oh, they just left it?
Yeah, they just left all the stuff.
I assumed they would have grabbed it.
No.
Yeah, I thought so too. All right, then what the fuck does the stick do?
It's the club.
You don't know. Smash Mouth.
That's all we know. This is known by the gnomes as Smash Mouth.
Okay, I'll tell him this is the weapon known as Smash Mouth. It can destroy mountains. It can destroy castles. It can destroy this bridge.
I mean,
in just a single
you guys want me to test it?
swing.
I mean, you can just look at it, but and honestly, I don't feel safe testing it in the Underdark.
Yeah, let's not.
I definitely say that.
He says, "I'm not fighting and killing you for a stick."
Seriously, you should look at it.
Please step up, look through the eye, and see what power this thing exudes.
Well, of course, when you look through it, you just see that it's magical, but it could be a trick through the eye. I mean, you can try to persuade him, roll a persuasion check, but
yeah, if he doesn't believe us, I'll test it. You know.
I mean, if you want me to persuade, I got a 26.
That's pretty good. And he rolled a natural 20. Let me check his.
What? That's 2 natural 20s against my persuasion twice.
It's been nothing but natural
or in a row.
20s today.
It's been a lot of natural 20s. But
1.
He says, "Fine, I will look through the necklace."
And you can use your bow as an example too.
He doesn't move any closer.
You can just like.
Will you allow me to bring the eye to you, and then back?
He nods.
Oh, okay. I'll translate to Molly everything that just went down right now and say I need to borrow the necklace.
I don't understand.
Theon squats down so it's at level.
I'll put my head down, my palms out, and say, "Thank you, my lady," in Elvish.
Lee comes forward so he can get a better look at it, but he's not all the way up to him. He's up kind of like where it is.
All right. I'll walk down and present the necklace to him.
Okay. He looks at the necklace, holds it up to his
Now-
eye,
Okay.
looks around a little bit. All right. Looks at the club, looks at his bow, looks at you all, and hands the necklace back and says, "Fun trick."
Not a trick.
Do you want me to demonstrate it?
I feel like that's all that's left, unless.
We've never tried it before. Maybe this is not the best place to do it, but like
He
it almost.
holds out his hand and says, "May I try it?"
No.
Yeah, we don't
I'm
want
just
to
going to cut him off right there and say, unless that you allow us to try your bow.
I don't know if either of those are good ideas. I don't think either of those.
He says, he shrugs and he says, "I'll kill you and take it if you like, but if you want a duel, you've got to show me it's worth it."
How about Aladrin, can you throw like a boulder or something at me? Ooh, wait, I've got those cannonballs in the goat's thing. I'll pull one of those out of the goat's saddlebag,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll like hand it to him so that he can like see that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess after he sees that it's real, I'll take it back. I'll throw it up in the air, and using the club, I'll knock it off of the bridge into the Underdark.
All right. Make a dexterity check or a. Well, you can go with a melee attack if you want. Something along those lines for hitting a ball with a stick.
All right. Can I treat it like a light hammer?
Sure.
Sweet. That just gives me an extra +1 to hit it.
Why not?
So who's going to be doing the fighting, Lee or Aladrin?
Aladrin.
Okay.
14. Do I hit it?
You hit it, and there's a metallic clang, and it kind of swords of off a distance and off the bridge and falls down.
Why didn't it do anything? I thought it was supposed to break it.
It's against structures, I'm pretty sure.
How about this? If I lose, you get me. Slave, warrior, whatever. If I lose, I stay.
You must value yourself a lot.
I mean, if nothing else, they can throw me at things or put me to hard labor.
He says, it's not as entertaining. How about this? If you lose, you have to kill one of your friends. And then we also keep you. And the stick.
Fuck it. You guys can kill me if you want.
I mean, I've already died once, I'm sure. Mephistopheles wouldn't be opposed to giving me another life
I will say
for
on
another deed.
that we can take his corpse back.
He shrugs and says, "That's fine." And he
We can't lose this anyway, so like...
Yeah, he continues to stand there and says, "Approach when you're ready."
Oh, man.
I
there's
do
no
make
way-
one small
Man.
request. Seeing how you are armored out, would you allow me to give my friend here some armor?
He shakes his head and he says, "It's his fault for coming into the fight this way."
Yeah,
just-
we seriously cannot like help him. Like we cannot cast.
Well-
like we cast bless on him.
All it was going to be was armor of Agathis, which would have given him 25 temp HP, and every time the warlord would have made a attack on him, it would have just done cold damage to him. It would have given him no negative effects to his AC.
But it wouldn't be something that he brought.
Yeah.
Well, he brought enormous, but at the same time, the
Yeah,
warlord
well-
brought all of his archers. So
I was going to say, if you want to play by those rules, fine. It's going to be 24 arrows a turn.
yeah, let's seriously like we cannot help him no matter how much we want to. You know, we all have buff spells, but
All
like,
right.
Yeah. I did.
He's giving you the first act. You've got like a long bridge here. You're on one side. He's on the other.
I will ask if I can at least get my weapons, because I did bring them. We just were forced to leave them at the behest of his guards.
He sighs and rolls his eyes, and he says,
I will only use one. One is all I need.
Spear or the axe?
What weapon would you like to use? We have weapons.
A great axe.
You have an enchanted great axe, though.
It would only be like.
No.
Does he have a great sword?
A sword could be arranged.
Ormus, you could summon the blade and let him use that.
Fair enough. Would you like to? It's a plus 10 to hit, plus 7 to damage, and it's 1d10.
The only thing is, I want to
That's
check his.
Your stat, Ormus.
All it does is adds my charisma to my proficiency, but adding his strength would probably actually give it more.
I just want to check the wording on a great weapon master. Because if I can, as long as I'm wielding it with two hands, I think it's okay, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I can change the form of it if you'd like.
Yeah, if you made it a great axe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think it would change the damage, that's all. It would
Yeah.
still be a 1d10. Or a 2d10 maybe if you held it with two hands for versatile, quote unquote.
No, not
or 1d12.
No way.
1d12 then.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how versatile goes. That's why.
it would be.
The great axe is just two-handed.
Yeah. If you can change the form into a great axe, that would be perfect.
Okay. Yeah. I'll outstretch my arm, focus a little bit, and just as animes go, starts from the hilt and just shing out front or forward into the form of a great axe.
Yeah, you now have a glowing great axe that you can hand to him.
Blue, my favorite weapon. Here you go.
Thank you.
Like I said,
you
it
can tell
is.
that they're very impressed by that. But yeah, you now have a great axe that can do 1d12 damage.
Alright.
You have proficiency bonus, of course. Magic attack bonus +1. Your strength, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably higher than mine. And then for damage, it's a category 2. I don't know what the fuck that's for.
Well, we're just gonna consider it a great axe, I'm guessing. So he would get a d12.
Yeah. It's just the plus, the modified plus. I don't know why it does a category 2, and it's like locked in there. I just gave him a heads up. Magic bonus, your strength.
What's the magic bonus to hit? Like a +1?
That damage and
so
yes, attack
so
and
you get
damage
the
+1.
D12 +1 plus his strength plus whatever other barbarian crap he's got going on. So,
yeah.
Okay. All ready? You get first turn. He's ready and waiting.
So what's it like?
Pat your back. Good luck, friend.
To hit?
Well, bonus action rage, and then reckless great weapon master.
All right. Do you charge in? Do you walk up? What do you do?
I walk up.
I was gonna say I kind of like the idea. Well, both actually. Of you just like raging silently and just like walking towards him.
Yeah, and reckless great weapon master.
All that happens is you notice Aladrin's shoulders get tense and his eyes roll back a little bit.
Yeah.
Veins pop out on his forehead.
So that would be a total of 20.
That hits.
And that's... This is going to be a lot of math. 7. Yeah, so 7 on the dice, plus 7 from rage would be 14. Plus 10 from great weapon master would be 24. 24 damage from the first hit, and then...
Did you get a magic damage too?
On the what? Oh, I didn't add the +1 from the magic damage, so that would be 25.
All right, -25.
Magic weapons for the win, guys.
Yay!
And then second attack. That's not gonna hit. That would be an 8. So yeah, no, that
Nope.
doesn't hit.
An 8 total?
Yeah, that's the downside from Great Weapon Master.
And
Oh,
it's reckless, so he gets advantage on his attacks too.
Yeah,
Mm.
it doesn't matter. He was going to hit anyway.
I mean, yeah.
I sure hope
Yeah.
there's no advantage given from. Anyway, go on.
That's it. I'm raging.
Okay.
And
So you just strode up and you struck hard and you whiffed on the second hit.
yeah,
Oh man, you hit with the 25. That definitely hurts.
yeah.
He draws out a sort of flat line, kind of almost like a rapier, and attempts to slice at you a bit. So we'll just begin, since they're at advantage because you attacked recklessly, correct?
Yes.
Does that mean that the first attack has advantage?
All attacks.
Oh, buddy. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good that you're raging. I'll say that much.
Yeah. But also, my attacks are also at advantage, so
That's fine. I'm guessing. What's your AC right now?
that would be a total 17.
Okay, so first one was a 23.
Hmm.
That's a 26. I'm maybe gonna. Oh, let me see if he crits. No, he didn't crit. So it's a 26 to hit, and ooh, that was only a 12 to hit. So only 2 hit,
Hmm.
and I'm. Do you want me to just do average damage, or do you want me to roll the damage die? I'll give
It's
you that choice.
I'm gonna say average.
It's gonna do a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say average.
That's fine. And you don't get any resistance to poison damage?
No.
Okay. So,
is there a save?
no.
Shit.
Ooh.
For the first attack, you take 24 piercing damage, which you can cut in half,
Yeah. All right.
and then 14 poison damage, which you can't cut in half. So,
Okay.
essentially 26 damage total. And
Yeah.
since we're doing average damage, that's times 2, so 52 damage for that attack.
God damn.
Okay, so the entire thing was 52.
Well, because the first attack was 26.
Yeah.
That's
So-
with the piercing cut in half.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's fully reduced after the reduction of everything. 52 damage.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're not surviving this one, are we?
He does an extra 5d6 damage per hit when he has advantage.
Okay.
Because he's an assassin.
God,
That makes sense.
Fuck.
Oh god, that.
Let's not.
But
Let's not do
okay.
reckless anymore, please.
I guess
I'm just
lead
saying,
would have been a better option then.
You, as a warrior, can feel that because you were too reckless, he wrecked your shit. Where the poison already sucked, but
Yeah.
the bulk of that damage, he was able to sneak in while you were reckless, and he made 3 attacks that turn.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to win this.
I'm gonna need to crit.
But luckily, he let you go first because his assassination ability, those hits would have been critical.
Yeah. If I'm surprised, yeah, fucking assassin rogues.
He was being kind. But anyway, so that's your first round.
Yeah.
Your turn. He doesn't move away. He doesn't do anything else.
All right. Well, still great weapon master. Not gonna reckless anymore. 'Cause that fucking sucked. That'll hit. That's a
3 hits.
1 plus 7, 28 plus 1, 29 damage.
Ooh, nice.
Are you calculating with the magic damage as well?
Yeah, that was the extra plus 1 there at the end. At the 29. And then Great Weapon Master again. God. Roll straight. Alright. That might not hit. If he's wearing leather, I don't know. So
What'd you roll?
I need to. God, math is hard.
So many numbers.
It was a natural 12. So 12 minus 5
17.
plus
Plus what?
9 would be a 16.
Does not hit.
Yeah, but he does need to
Even
make
with-
a dex save from the lightning.
He rolled a 15.
That's a success.
Okay.
He takes 1 lightning damage.
He evades that 1 lightning damage and takes
Ah.
no damage instead.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Rogues, man.
No.
Well, we're fucked, guys. Let's hope this is another prophecy.
Well,
I
let's be
We're
fair.
only-
That 50-something damage was only because you gave him advantage. It could be
It's
less.
Yeah.
only because of advantage. You guys might be okay if he stopped being reckless, which he did.
yeah,
All right.
I realized
Is your
that's a
turn
bad
over-
idea.
Is your turn over, Aladrin?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can see, like, you got in a couple of good hits, and he's
Yeah.
trying to give them right back. Okay. That's a dirty 20. That's 1 hit. Oh, dude. That was on the 20, and then it just slow rolled to the 2.
Oh God!
I was like, oh, damn, I'm about to kill him. Oh, no.
The
Darn.
dice gods
Okay.
have blessed us.
Yeah, it was on the 20, and then it just slow rolled to the 2. And that's another 2. So you only got 1 hit in. So you
Okay.
take, after reducing everything, you take 3 piercing damage.
Okay.
And 14 poison damage.
Okay.
That's
I'm not looking great, but that's a lot better than the first round.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
How are you looking hit point wise?
I'm at 35.
35.
Because that first hit.
That first hit, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That crit would have killed you there. Oh, so close. Like literally, guys, it was on the 20. I was
Oh,
about to
God.
say, oh shit. And before I could say, oh shit, it rolled the 2.
Alright.
It was crazy. Anyway, so he has done his attack, and you can see a little bit of fear in his eyes as he's trying to think, can he do something sneaky here? He's not sure. Your turn.
Come on, Aladrin. Both hits. Come on, both hits.
That would be an 8.
That does not hit.
Oh. And then second attack.
I will add, throwing it out there, it's, well, okay, it's up to you. I'm just saying, Reckless might kill you, but the advantage that Reckless gives you might save you. But it also, if he gets another turn, it'll almost certainly kill you.
Yeah.
Can you survive the next turn? If you don't do advantage, because if you can, then I would suggest doing it after. But like,
Yeah. I can. Unless he hits all 3 times, which he might, I should be fine. I can do it next round. But I can't do it this round because I need to declare it before my first attack.
Fair. Okay. So, what was your second attack? What'd you roll?
That would be a total of a 20.
A 20 does hit.
Okay.
Yeah, he's sitting at 19.
Okay. That's a lot. I'm panicking a little bit. That's 29, I do believe. Yeah, 29 damage total.
Okay. had to borrow a phrase from another famous DM. How do you want to do this? He's at -2.
Oh,
Oh, God, yes.
God, that's
He was gonna
the
drop darkness and fuck your ass this next round. If you hadn't have killed him, he was about to cheat.
God.
Did you kill it? I mean,
Yeah.
okay. Here's the
Yes.
question: do you want to kill him, or do you want to like somehow? Well, no, you're using a great axe. He's gonna die.
Well, no,
Yeah.
not necessarily. He can still do. You can still, because it is still technically a melee attack. You can choose to do non-lethal damage, or you can choose to do lethal damage. It's up to you. How do you want to do this?
I will say letting him live will be an insult to him.
Yeah, I do. I go for the leg and I take him out, and it's the small blast of static electricity that pushes him onto his back.
You just bring him down, and you like hold after you knock him down. Do you hold over him like you could have just beheaded him? But
Yeah, you step
Yeah.
on it or something.
Yeah, I step on the wound on his leg and raise the great axe up.
very nice. Yeah, he's panting a little bit, and he angrily drops his sword.
That was a good fight. Lee says,
Yeah.
"Oh, that
Yeah.
was awesome."
That lasted a grand total of 18 seconds.
I mean, that's how Duel to the Death goes. If you had continued to be reckless, you'd have been dead.
Oh yeah.
I was so certain that I was going to have to say, well, at least only one of us died this time.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been 2, because the deal was that he could kill one of us.
Yeah, Molly Moore is going to say, well, that was entertaining, and give a gentle applause.
Oh man, that was. I mean, he literally. If you had been reckless, if you had gone reckless one more time, he would have messed you up. Because he was like, yeah, that would have been crazy.
That was the
Yeah.
He was secretly the best character to kill you.
Yeah.
I was certain this was the end.
Yeah, Molly
Yeah.
is pausing to keep up the facade, but she is sweating.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you help him up at all?
I asked Molly if she'd like me to heal him.
So yes, it's a good berry.
Yeah.
I'm going to say let's get the bow first.
Yeah.
I'll walk over to him if Aladrin helps him up,
Yeah.
and use lay on hands on him if he'll let me.
I'm going to walk up as well and just hand out for the bow.
You can see that he's looking at the 2 scouts. Like you can see, like he kind of wants to, like as you're trying to take the bow, he's holding it. He doesn't want to let it go, but he's looking at them, and they being the women that are like, if it was just a dude in front of his men, he would just have you all killed. But he doesn't want them to know that he's betrayed his word.
Yeah.
His pride is hurt too, I'm sure, though.
His pride is hurt for sure. Plus, he's releasing an artifact that's just like a symbol of power in society, and he does let it go. And he said, "Don't worry, I'll get it back."
I'll heal him while
I will take your word for that. And if all goes well, maybe we'll even come and give it to you back.
Yeah,
We shall see.
honestly only need it for a little while. We might give it back.
I'm going to say maybe we can bring you that axe, double-headed axe after all, sometime later.
Yeah.
I'll
He says
translate
that
that.
he would. It's kind of one of these things like you're being much nicer than he expected, but he doesn't want to be nice about it. But he's like, I would very much like to have Doom.
I think it would be a good idea. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to try to be allies with this guy, even though we just kicked his ass.
Yeah, I mean, we're being perfectly polite. He didn't even offer to bring us inside.
I have actually. I'm gonna ask him, how would you like to someday possibly go and get that axe yourself? Maybe with us.
Yeah,
I'm sure the look on their faces when you're the one to rip it from their hands would be quite tasteful for you.
He says that he would very much like that. You all are formidable warriors. And he offers a soldier's shake to you, Aladrin, forearm and all.
You not understand most of this conversation.
He's speaking in broken common.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna heal him for 30 hit points, if that's okay.
He seems to appreciate it. And he says that perhaps he won't kill you all after.
Fionn says
Perhaps we can be valuable allies.
Perhaps.
Fionn offers out his hand and says, I admire your fighting style. Maybe one day you can teach me something about it.
He nods. And, he nods and...
I feel like he just feels super awkward and weird because he's really mad at us, but
not only did I lose, but they didn't even have the decency to kill me, and now they're healing me and being like, hey, let's hang out later.
Like
you. I prefer that we were allies.
Yeah, he's just like, I have no idea what this is about.
How would you guys like for me to try and see if he wants to travel with us?
I'm good.
I don't think now's the time.
Hell no, actually.
Yeah,
He's still an evil girl.
Yeah, let's just... Yeah.
Well, because I was thinking about not destroying his honor with his queen. Say that this is probably going to be a very heavy bruise on his honor, if anything, that he can ask her or tell her that he wishes to travel with us instead of saying, hey, I lost a bow. And then when all is said and done, he can come back with the bow.
Well,
that way it doesn't look bad on him.
That sounds like his problem.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to offer him.
When all is said and done, this guy is probably evil, at least not good. So, like...
Yeah, he's evil as fuck to me.
Yeah.
Well, that was just one-on-one. If he tries anything while we're all together, he's not going to have a good time.
Well, to be fair, Aladrin is a formidable opponent. But,
oh, yeah.
But, yeah, he says, you have your prize. You may leave with our blessing of safety.
Is it my imagination?
Thank you.
Did Aladrin do like 100 points of damage in like 3 turns?
He did.
That is wild.
Oh my god. Aladrin, I think you might not know this, but OP as fuck.
And that's with me missing every other attack.
Yeah, like, thinking about that, I'm built, like, my entire character is built to do massive amounts of damage, and it would still take me several turns of doing top damage, hitting every attack to do that.
Aladrin, what level are you?
9, 8 levels barbarian, 1 sorcerer.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't gained a level in forever.
Well, you guys are probably going to gain a level from this. Yeah, so he was a challenge rating 10 monster. He's rated as deadly for someone at a much higher level than Aladrin.
Oh my god.
He's rated as deadly. I'm at level. Yeah, you should have been fucked.
Without a magic weapon, you fucked this dude. That was literally amazing.
He's rated as hard for level 20 character.
God, who is this? I want to build a character based on this. What the fuck?
I picked him to kill you. Like he was like, I was like, I bet if they do sing, probably have Aladrin do it. How do I fuck him over? Oh, because he's reckless, and if he's reckless, it gives advantage. This guy does advantage. He does 5d6 extra a turn. He was designed to fuck you.
Yeah.
But I will give it to you that you could certainly realize the first turn that, oh god,
that's not a good idea.
I'll do Aladrin for the rest for 15 hit points too, just to be safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but you all have the bow, and he's returned into his castle and the scouts have asked if you all would like an escort.
Before he goes, I would like to say I'm glad that you didn't kill us like you did in my vision. Then I will say goodbye and thank you to the ladies.
You know, just to like rub it in, this would be kind of an awesome time to turn into a giant spider.
Yes.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Wave with 4 different mandibles. Just
Yeah, and just all of us leave together with 2 giant spiders.
They might think they encountered, maybe one of Lolth's
I
higher
was
up.
about to say, if you did that, it would probably save face. Of course, he lost in a duel with Wolf, and one of Wolf's agents.
That you should do it. Please do it.
Yeah, before she turns into it, Fiona will ask Molly, like, make a big show of asking Molly, my lady, may I have the honor of carrying this weapon? Like, just a little bit of extra, you know?
Yes.
I will say, of course.
I'll hand it over.
All right.
And since we did leave the weapons that far back, would I have been able to retcon and say that I left Habram with them? Because I thought that the ladies took the weapons with us.
Yeah, if you like.
Okay.
They just had you all drop them and then made you guys march. They weren't going to carry that shit. But yeah,
A lot of weapons to carry.
you all can make your way back easily and even get back all the way to the humble rooms of your new friend, Arbon the elf, and Miz the drow.
We have all our weapons, right?
Pregnant drow. Yes. Taking, of course, all of your weapons. And
I'm kind of bummed.
a +1 to your weapons because you now have the Bow of Whispers.
Hell yeah.
Anyone want to play with the Bow of Whispers?
Yes.
I kind of want him to test it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. When you hold it, you notice that it's a bow without a string. And when you are just moving your hand through it, just waving your hand back and forth, you feel nothing. But if you make the motion like you're the string back, you can feel resistance. And if you pull that resistance back and let it go as if you were holding an arrow, you can hear a sort of, and off in the distance, you hear a crack of something hitting.
Now, I'm curious what its magical ability beyond that is. Is there any way we could like test it to figure it out?
Tuning to it.
Yeah. If you attune, but there's not really, these don't really require attunement. But yeah, if you essentially take the process of attunement, same thing with Smash Mouth too. I mean, I've got the text right here. I can give you guys the actual magical text if you guys want. If you've got enough of them, I might as well just do it.
Yes, please.
Can I attune to Smash Mouth so I can finally figure out what it is? Maybe get Philbin's help.
Okay.
Go off of lore and shit.
I'm going to gush to everybody about how amazing Aladrin was when we get back to the other people. And
Yeah. The whole ride or the whole walk back, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I was sweating so fucking much.
Like, I pat Aladrin on the back and I say, "You are truly deserving to wield the spear."
Yeah.
Aladrin is holding his stomach where he was stabbed.
I
Just following behind.
Stabbed repeatedly with poison.
I healed your tummy a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
The poison's still inside you, but the hole is probably mostly closed up.
Oh, Lord.
So are these weapons that you made yourself or were they pre-made?
These are just ones I made myself. They're
Wow.
They're not great. Don't knock them, please.
No, because the Bow of Whispers, the way you described it, I have an assassin rogue in one of my campaigns, and I was hoping to God that this wasn't one that you made so I can get it, because that would be fucking amazing.
Well, you could talk to your DM, but yeah, it has no string, needs no arrow. You can feel the resistance. The arrows don't do piercing damage; they do bludgeoning damage. They hit. It's like a shaft of air hitting someone, and you can use non-lethal damage range with it. It ignores the dexterity bonus of AC, because you can't see the arrows to dodge them, and you can shoot the arrow as far as you can see. So there's no range penalty.
Holy
Oh my
crap!
god, I can't wait to get my extended dark vision build so I can, well, if no one else wants to wield it.
And you can put a normal string on it, and you can shoot normal arrows or magical arrows with it. And so you get the benefit of shooting both the arrow of wind and the normal arrow at the same, which
Can it be righted?
it doesn't have the advantage to hit like just the wind arrow does, but you do the damage of the wind arrow and the normal arrow.
Oh,
This
yes.
I feel like this is just screaming Theon since he's a ranger.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, yeah, like, totally. I feel like it fits in with all those wheelhouses. Not to mention, like, can he ride it? Can he, like, lightning ride this?
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess. And Smash Mouth, since you've got it, the way it works, and this is, this one's just sort of a physics experiment. It doesn't really apply to anything that works. I just think it's kind of fun. I don't know if it's even really especially practical, but the idea is it's an inertial reactor. So the damage it does depends on the amount of resistance to the swing. So as you swing it, if it meets resistance of a certain amount, its mass increases to counter the resistance so that you continue to go the swing at the same inertia. The end result being that if you hit it against a softball, it's hitting a softball really hard. If you hit it against a tank, it hits it with the same amount of force relative to the force of the softball. So, like 10,000 times more damage.
It's a stick of Mach 5 punch. Like,
this is literally perfect for Lee, though. Like, it fits into his,
yeah. So,
this whole thing.
Essentially, as you go to hit something, if you try to hit something tiny, it essentially does 1d4 damage. Not great. But for a medium person, 4d4 damage, or,
doubling
Dragon, for instance, 32d4. Or if you hit it on the ground, it counts as the earthquake spell.
Now,
God damn. Thank God we didn't do that down there.
I'm kind of curious. If I hit something really big with it, will it kind of act like how Thunderous Smite acts, and I can like throw stuff back? If like I'm intentionally trying to do that,
you could smite with it. I mean, you could smite with it. I don't know. When you say like Thunderous Smite, like you want to push him back.
Yeah, like I want to throw them back. Maybe they have to make a save or something. I don't know.
If you add a smite onto it, so the smite will do it. But beyond that, not necessarily. It's just like you're hitting them with a club. Anything that would come along with hitting it with a club will be similar. But the damage scales based on the size of your target, and this will apply for anything that you're hitting against, up to and including, like I said, literally, if you hurl it at a mountain, it will hit with the same force relative to hitting a baseball. And the mountain is 1,000,000 times bigger than a baseball, so it hits like 1,000,000 times harder than a baseball.
God damn.
I mean, that's kind of the idea that I was going for, something that will be logarithmically just. And then with the spear, it just ignores AC. So say you're going against you, Lee, or it ignores armor bonuses. So Lee, your dexterity bonus is what?
0. So it would be a 10.
10. So, and if Aladrin were in a fight with you, he wouldn't have to roll a whatever to hit. He would have to roll a 10.
Yeah, and then if like Fionn was up against me, it would still be a 20. But if he was up against somebody who just depended on dexterity, the dexterity would be bypassed.
Oh, I like that. It works like the princess class's AC works, where it's like things that can't be charmed have just the dex bonus to AC, whereas things that can be charmed have the full AC. I like that.
Kind of. So the idea is that, and it's important to remember too that these were created to kill Tiamat. So you've got a spear that can go right through her tough armor. You've got a bow that she can't dodge in the air that can break her wings. you've got a club that can go up and knock her over and knock her out. And somewhere out there, you've got a net that she can't escape.
Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll.
But yeah, so these 4 items were created to take out a dragon goddess. I mean, they were designed for this. And presumably, these items were also used to kill, or wink, wink, nudge, nudge, kill Bahamut. And you can sort of see, too, that after the lie was said that Tiamat was killed, these items were separated to the races, just like how the half-elves got hearts, or got a heart, and then the dwarves got a scale. In this particular case, the halflings got the club to take care of. The spear stayed with the humans. The bow went to the elves, but was later captured by the drow. And you don't know about the net. So these things were dispersed across the globe, and you've brought now 3 out of 4 back. And yeah, anyway, so we went over a little bit. Hope that's okay.
That's fine.
We can probably stop it here. How are we looking? Oh, geez. Next week is the week after Thanksgiving.